The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Father's Day! I love you, son.
I love you too, Dad.
My doctor told me I was going deaf. That news was hard to hear.
Okay, kids, remember, it's Father's Day, which is the one day a year we have to pretend your dad's annoying habits are charming quirks. Peter, we have a special present for you this year. We thought you could have the whole day to yourself.
Yes!
To do the Father's Day scavenger hunt I organized with the other wives.
How do you get 100 math teachers into a room that only fits 99? You carry the one.
Father's Day coming up, and according to a new study, American fathers are spending more than twice as much time with their children as they used to in years past. Experts say it's due to a sweeping new trend called unemployment.
I hired a handyman and gave him a to-do list. But when I got home, only items 1, 3, and 5 got done. Turns out he only does odd jobs.
When you're a kid, you run into CVS on Father's Day like you're the best dad in the whole world. As an adult, you walk down that aisle just like, you've always been there for me. No, I couldn't have asked for a better, you know what, screw this. Excuse me, do you guys have any that just say, you are my dad? How about you screwed my mom? You got any of those? I'll get a blank one, it's fine. All right, you are a father, this is a day, here is a card.
What did Newton think when he discovered gravity? Is about to go down.
Yeah, what a deal. This is what it's come down to. A Friday broadcast, a full-on, all-out. Welcome to the Half-Ass Morning Show. This sets the tone right here. God dang it, I got a text message that I thought just sounded perfect for today. Bolt tightener Jesus. Morning, butt sniffers.
That's a good start.
Is what he said. Sets the tone for the whole. Big things happening this weekend for you, Josh. It's Father's Day is in the mix, right?
Father's Day is kind of ignored for the most part. We'll have a lunch tomorrow, and that's really about it. I'd imagine on Sunday, my youngest will scramble and pretend like he had thought way far ahead. Hey, Dad, I made this for you.
Yeah.
And it'll be something maybe he gave me last year that he found in a file cabinet somewhere.
Just reusing.
That's usually how it goes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I'll see the big kids tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
What else? Graduation party?
Do we have we got a few of them coming up in the next few weekends. I don't know.
Birthday party?
Josh is scrambling.
Let me look at my calendar. See, my wife is good at all that kind of stuff.
Seance?
No seances. We've got a grooming appointment for our dogs on Sunday.
Thrilling.
You're actually looking at your phone? You've got some kind of to-do
Calendar.
list, like a to-do list on your phone?
It's what I like to call, I hope you guys can follow along here, a shared calendar where my wife will put our schedule on here.
That is so smart. I just learned that people do that. They share their calendar with their significant other or their wife or husband, whatever it is, and I need to get on that. That's such a good idea.
It really is helpful.
Yeah, so I looked through here. Looks like my wife is going to Valley Fair today. At 9 p.m., it says cheat on Josh.
Oh.
So we're very detailed on our shared calendar.
Well, it's good to know where she
Strangely
is.
enough, I'm also busy at 9 p.m.
Well, look at that. She tagged you on there. That makes sense.
Television program binge?
Oh, I'll be watching the season 2 premiere of House of the Dragon.
Who isn't going to be watching that? I'll tell you. Who
I'd
isn't?
imagine that'll be a popular show Sunday night.
Well, happy Father's Day to you on Saturday or Sunday, whenever that falls.
Nice of you to say. I
Yeah.
bet you're the only person in my life that actually says that to me and means it. Where everybody else, it'll be just kind of a throwaway. I probably should say something.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Too late.
So let me guess. It's Father's Day. You're going out to lunch with the family. I'm guessing you'll be picking up the tab?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes. Yeah. It doesn't matter the occasion, I will be picking up the tab.
Just got a text message from Auto Parts Slinging Jesus who says, we're still waiting on that fart. Yeah,
Well,
me too.
He did challenge your manliness yesterday, saying you don't have the courage. You are not man enough to fart live on the radio.
I'm all the man you need.
What if you even made it a raw fart?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, you take the mic condom off and really get after it.
Well, you know, that's actually not a bad idea because these mic condoms, these foam mic condoms, they could probably absorb something where it would be quite odoriferous the rest of the broadcast.
You're a smart man.
If you missed yesterday's show, I was challenged by a few listeners, including Auto Parts Slinging Jesus, to fart on air. And he says, we're still waiting on it. Yeah, so am I. Like I said yesterday, it's not something that I'm going to force, and then I've got to run off to the bathroom to put my underwear in the garbage. I should probably just squash this now. I have no real plans to fart on air. I can't bring myself to do such a thing. I'm 52 friggin' years old. I'm not going to be the guy that farted into a microphone on a radio show.
If this was 1999 radio, I mean, that's a different thing.
Oh, the bosses would be calling me saying, hey, dude, we're waiting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's have a fart Friday. Everybody farts on the air.
I didn't mean to mislead anyone yesterday. I know I played along yesterday. I have, and I never did have any intention to fart onto my microphone live on this radio show.
I had a feeling.
Call me whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I'm not going to do it.
SAWFT, soft.
A guy has to grow up at one point or another. Even just a little bit. Even just a little tiny bit. But don't get me wrong, I appreciate your interest, Auto Parts Slinging Jesus, and others who have been busting my chops since yesterday.
I think I might have been disappointed had you farted on the air.
Yesterday where I was like, oh, and I made everyone get quiet, and I was faking that. I never had any intention to... What was your comment here?
I might have been disappointed had you actually done it.
I would have been disappointed in myself.
You're better than that.
I probably would have went home, and the friggin' wife, who does listen to this program from time to time, she would have said, what are you doing?
Your wife, now I can't say what happened specifically, but you were telling me something your wife had said. This was off the air yesterday, and I did a legitimate spit take. It got me so much. I covered my monitor in a beverage. I mean, I don't remember the last time that happened to me, but I was kind of embarrassed, actually, at that spit take.
I dumped a line of hers on Cubby, and he spit his drink all over the studio. Yeah, she thinks she's funny.
Well, I think she's pretty funny. Yeah, that got me. I had to text her on it yesterday because I was afraid you'd forget to bring it up. That she got me.
Jack Rabbit Jesus says he's been farting all morning. He's got my back.
Nice.
All right. Speaking of this weekend, when and where can I grab a case of the new Hulk Hogan beer? Well, Hulk Hogan is launching his own beer, and we're actually trying like hell to maybe have a conversation with the man next week about it. Does anyone? Is it already available? Hulk Hogan beer?
I thought it was. I can tell you this. Speaking of going back to the topic of wives and expelling fluids, yesterday I had told my wife, who's a big wrestling fan growing up, that hey, I think we're having Hulk Hogan in studio in the next week or so, something like that. And she was super. I said, "Can I please come in?" You know, she wanted to meet him. She said, "I'm so excited, I peed a little bit when she heard that news." Because she is a big, to this day, Hulkamaniac. So she'll be coming in to annoy you guys with her fandom.
She takes her vitamins. She says her prayers.
Oh, yeah. She's a fan of the Pythons, everything. So she's really excited. And I am, too. I don't know if I've ever met Hulk Hogan. We've had so many wrestlers in. I think I'd remember that.
I met him in 1985.
Was it at a wrestling event? Or
no, it was at a
signing of some sort?
Some sort of an appearance. I mean, how special was this? Because I know, Dana and Wapple are lifelong television wrestling fans, too. In 1985, there probably was not only no bigger television wrestler, but maybe no bigger athlete in the world at the time than Hulk Hogan. It's the truth.
Yeah.
For some of you dickheads who, constantly like to disregard television wrestling, it's the friggin' truth. In 1985, Hulk Hogan was a friggin' phenomenon. And he made an appearance at the Wyzetta Boat Works. So where I was going with this is, I mean, I was a 14-year-old kid. It wasn't like I was some little, 6-year-old. I was relatively grown. So it wasn't like I was completely coming uncorked. But to have a character of that status in your hometown, not just hanging out in Minneapolis somewhere where my folks had to give me a ride to, in my hometown of Wayzata. I rode my bicycle, me and a couple of buddies. For whatever reason, Hogan made an appearance at the Wayzata Boat Works, which is now a Mexican restaurant, I think, right on the lake there in Wayzata. He was with Mean Gene Okerlund, and I want to say it was Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, wow. My wife would pee a little.
Mm-hmm. And we rode our bicycles down, and I think we took a picture with him, but I have no evidence of that. Me and my family were always very irresponsible when it came to pictures.
So were we.
I probably had it in my back pocket. It fell out on the bike ride home. But anyway, so that was however many years ago. If I ever...
Balls, that scared me.
If I ever ran into him or had a chance to talk to him beyond that, I don't remember. But he has his own beer. The beer is called Real American. Drink what you want in can or bottle. That could be, I don't know. The beer is called Real American Beer. Taken from his old theme song that I was just sort of singing to you.
What's his schedule again?
He is going to be at Total Wine in Roseville on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Then he'll be at the Cub Liquor in White Bear Lake at 11. Then Big Discount Liquor at 1 p.m. in South St. Paul. And then G. Will Liquor in Cottage Grove at 3 o'clock. So
this is all next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday. He's making the rounds across the metro.
Interesting.
And go meet the guy, get some beer. I've never met him either. My mom worked at the corporate Best Buy offices when I was young. I want to say in elementary school. And remember when Hulk Hogan put out that award-winning compact disc where he was singing songs?
Of course.
No.
Yeah, he did. And my mom said
before or after he was in Motley Crue?
I think this is post
Metallica.
Oh, Metallica? Oh, okay.
Well, tell me about the record. What record?
He put out a CD. I'm pulling up the details right now, but Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band came out in... see, what year did this come out? I'm looking, but 1995. So I was 10 years old, and my mom came home one day with a big autographed picture of Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart. She said she was completely just walking into the lunchroom, just going about her business. All of a sudden, she turns the corner, and there's the Hulkster right there standing there signing autographs to promote his CD to the Best Buy folks.
I was pretty tuned out to the WWF in 1995, so I have no memories of that record at all. Okay, so your mother met Hulk.
Mother met Hulk, and she got me an autograph. I still have it. This big color photo to Dana. Hulk, take your vitamins, eat your prayers. Nope, that's the other way around.
You need to relax.
Yeah, sometimes just slow down a little bit. Eat your prayers.
Eat your prayers.
I hope I go to a mass where a church or a priest says something like that. That'd be great.
My goodness.
All right, everyone. We're going to pray and then eat it together.
Hulkum, Real American Beer. I wonder why he didn't go with Drunkamania.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
For his beer name.
Hopefully it's more popular than Pastamania was. How long did that last?
That did not last long.
I never even made it when the Mall of America had one, right?
Uh-huh.
I never even made it out there. By the time I got there, it was already shut down.
I went to Pastamania at the Mall of America. You know what he should do? Okay, fine. It's probably can't call your beer Drunkamania.
Nah, you can't suggest you get drunk.
You're going to have all kinds of people get nervous about that. But you know what he should do? And it's probably not too late for this. Okay, Real American Beer. I get it. He should sell the beer, Cubby, check this out, in 12 and 24-ounce cans, and he can call the 24-ouncers 24-ounce pythons.
Yeah, that's great.
Buy them in pythons? Sure.
Dude, you're not... Oh, what are you drinking, the 12-ounce? Or no, dude, I got the 24-ounce python.
Check out these pythons.
Got double-fisted pythons?
Well, maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him about it next week. I'm not going to count my chickens or anything, but it says here the beer is available in 17 different states, and all the joints that you just got done mentioning, I'm guessing they're for sure going to have it by next Tuesday when he's making those appearances. Maybe they already have it. I don't know. He's never dipped his Hall of Fame toe into the beer business before, as far as I know. It says here Stone Cold Steve Austin has had great success.
Oh, yeah.
Great success with his Broken Skull IPA.
Sure, I've had one of those.
Yeah, I have too. It's good.
I'm not an IPA guy, so I didn't like it. No offense to Mr. Stone Cold. It's just, I prefer a nice glass of wine.
Oh, really?
If I remember, you said that beer, it burns your throat.
It burns my throat.
Yes.
It does. I also didn't like The Condemned.
I did not like The Condemned. This is Josh and I doing our imitation of Santino Marella. I just hope for once one of these celebrity beers or wines or vodka, I just, one of them, it's bound to happen. One of them's got to be good. And maybe this will be the first one. Because I have to say, the celebrity branded beers and booze that I've tried, garbage.
Did you just say the Iron Maiden stuff is terrible?
The Iron Maiden beer, I almost quit drinking. And I was so excited because I worship Iron Maiden.
Of course.
And it was actually very funny because a buddy of mine bought a 6-pack or a 3-pack for $75 or something. It's all wildly overpriced. I hope that Beeromania isn't like that. So my buddy, also a big Iron Maiden fan, comes over one day and they had big 16-ounce cans. Maybe the beer was called the Trooper. I don't remember.
That sounds right.
But he puts it on my bar, comes over to the house, puts it on my bar, and he says, look at this. I want you to have that. And I said, wow, look at the can. The can was so gorgeous. You had the Iron Maiden logo and I think maybe the Trooper character on the can. And it was just funny because I thought my buddy was going to say, I had 2 of them already and it's great. And he said, I got to warn you, it's terrible. and he was right.
That's one of those where I think I'd drink it, make a face, choke it down, and be like, it's so good. Because I don't want to disparage anything from Iron Maiden.
I took one drink and poured it into the toilet, but so it's bound.
They're English. You got to cut them a little slack.
Right.
They don't know what they're doing.
Their taste is terrible in food, and it's bound to happen. Maybe one of these will be really good. So I hope that for Hulk Hogan and his Real American beer.
I'll drink a Real American of that for sure.
Dude.
Wapple, so you've got some beer appearances, right? Some
yes.
Cub wine and liquor appearances.
Yeah, every Friday in June.
Oh, so maybe you could pick some of that up for us.
Yeah, I could see if they got it tonight. Definitely next Friday I could.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. Dana will be happy. He'll write you a check. As soon as he's done eating his prayers.
Yeah, once I finish my big bowl of prayers, I will get my checkbook out and I will make one out to you.
Yeah, tonight I'll be in Rosemont, 4 to 6.
Where?
Cub Wine and Spirits.
Which one?
Hanging out with Coors.
You already said Rosemont.
I did.
You did.
What do we got folks texting in about, the celebrity beers? Broken Skull? Who is that?
That's Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah.
Still not available in Minnesota. You got to go to Hudson if you want some.
Did I just say that?
You did.
Yeah.
When you were reading the story earlier?
Oh, yeah. Broken Skull IPA. Sorry. Mustaine is God. Jesus texted in to say, Iron Maiden beer, ass.
Yeah.
Megadeth beer, ass. Metallica whiskey, ass.
Oh, really? Do you remember the secret behind Metallica whiskey?
Oh, yeah.
They took the blood and semen from the album cover.
That's the Load album.
But they took that from the album and put it in the beer?
No.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
They put it in the casks, the whiskey casks, and then they blasted Metallica at
Yes.
it.
That was part of the process.
Really cool.
Part of the process was what?
They'd play Metallica music to flavor the beer.
The whiskey.
Or whiskey, yeah.
The whiskey would listen to their music?
Yeah, when it's sitting in the giant casks.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
That.
Distilled with metal.
The Chad Greenway Grey Duck people are enjoying.
Yeah, I've had that. That's good.
Yeah, I've
The
had
celebrity endorsement.
Never saw it.
I've never had any celebrity liquor.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't sampled many of them myself, Ashley. I think just Iron Maiden. God,
what about the captain, that famous captain with the Jack Daniels or whatever? Or the Captain Coke you might have. That guy's kind of famous. He's a celebrity.
Who?
The captain.
Oh, from Captain Morgan?
Yeah, Captain Morgan. He's a famous guy.
You know who's?
I've seen him in person.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You know
He
who's
was very annoying.
Oh, I bet. You know what hooch I have in my liquor cabinet? Which somebody who drinks booze should just come to my house. I've got. Who here likes booze?
I like booze.
The next time you're at my house, take every single bottle of booze that I have and take it away from me because I don't drink booze. I drink beer. But you know how it goes. You have a party. Someone brings a bottle. I never touch it.
Yeah.
You get free stuff here at work sometimes. I bring it home. Someone will drink this. No one ever. So please remind me next time you're at my place. Take every single. I bet you I have 35 bottles of vodka, whiskey, whatever.
Dang.
And it will never, ever be used. So, but one
I have none. Absolutely none. So get out of my house. Absolutely none.
I'll find something else to take.
Yeah, we're raiding
fine.
Josh's cabinets.
Yeah, go ahead. Take what you want.
Well, they're going to steal something.
That's fine.
They can't guarantee
There's
you.
no booze.
Waffle Nighters carrying a couch out the front.
I have a bottle of booze endorsed or created by whatever the proper term is. Jesse James Dupree from Jackal.
I would think that would be good.
Rock me, roll me, jackal me off. That was their slogan back in the day. Probably still is. I love those guys. I really do. Jackal is such a terrific, great live band. I miss them. I haven't seen them in years now. But at one point or another, he came in studio and brought us some booze. You used to watch what?
I used to watch his TV show that they had, the Full Throttle Saloon, where they would film what's happening at Sturgis.
Oh, that show was wild.
Yeah,
Jesse James Dupree basically had a cubicle in this building for a while. He was here so much.
He did. My God, back in the day, we met his uncle. We met his brothers.
I don't know why he was here so often, but he was always. He must have been friends with our promotions director at the time because. And she knew a lot of those guys, a lot of rock stars and stuff.
His son?
Yeah.
I mean, he was in here so often we were meeting his family members. What a
They seem so nice.
Dude.
All of them.
Absolutely.
So nice.
Just normal people.
Yeah.
Jesse James Dupree is a wonderful guy. It's been years.
Somebody says, I'm coming out to meet Wapple for the first time. Should I be nervous? Not at all. Oh, really?
Really?
I think Wapple is wonderful in person.
Yeah.
I think you'll really enjoy spending time with him. You're one of the best.
Yeah, and then I'm going to even take advantage of being out in Rosemont, and we might even hit a Frisbee golf course after.
Dude.
Yeah, we're living it up.
People are texting in about our beer or beers, and I'm not going to lump that in with the topic of celebrity beers because that would make me a massive douchebag. People are being very, very complimentary of the beers that we've. What's the term we should use, Josh? Endorsed,
partnered with
Liftbridge. Liftbridge. Appreciate that. What was the first one we had?
Brotherhood beer.
Brotherhood beer.
Yep.
I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. I really liked our Beer of the Dark.
Yeah, I hear that, from listeners the most, Wapple, that they loved that one so much.
Yeah, it was a really, really dark-looking beer. It looked black, and it looks like it'd be like hard to drink, like a porter or something like that. And I hate IPAs, porters, those type of beers. They're really heavy. But this one drank like a light beer. It was really good.
Brilliant name.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely brilliant name. Well, there you go. Seriously, come to my house and take my friggin' booze. It's never going to go anywhere.
Deal.
What else is going on this morning? Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder going to stop by. All right, and yeah, go see Wapple today at Cub Wine and Spirits in friggin' Rosemount. You got to go all the way to Rosemount.
Rosemount.
Lunch. They don't even have the Pizza Hut buffet or Big Daddy's Diner anymore either.
Dang.
That's the only reason to go to that city.
Well, the only reason you're coming is for me and Cub Wine and Spirits.
There you go.
There's never a reason to go to Rosemount.
Well, they got a nice Subway. They're going to have a brand new Lifetime Fitness out there. We could go get pumped.
Their mayor is cool. Wasn't he the mayor that wrestled?
No, you're thinking of the mayor of Farmington.
Oh, dang it.
Joshua
Sorry.
Hoyt.
Yeah, sorry, Rosemont mayor.
So there you go. Happy you're with us. Let's get this this nightmare over with and go enjoy ourselves. We'll be back in a couple of minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
This episode brought to you by Progressive. Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, so we learned that the one and only Hulk Hogan has his own beer now, Real American Beer. It's going to be up for sale all over town here shortly, and we're proud of him, and we're possibly lining up the Hulkster for an interview next week. We'll keep you posted on that. But we got to talking about, I mean, he's not alone. Damn near anybody who's anybody these days has their own beer, wine, or hooch. Or, of course, now lately the hip thing is to have your own marijuana brand.
I was kind of surprised the Hulkster didn't have one of those, one of his own marijuana brands.
Maybe he's sick and tired of weed like the rest of us.
Could be, or maybe he has one and we're just not aware.
It's just overwhelming. So, Hulk is far from alone. We were talking about some of the celebrity-endorsed beers, liquors, or whatever the proper term is. They partnered with this beer company or this booze company. People, we talked about some of them, Iron Maiden and this and that have their own beer. Here's a few texts you probably remember or are familiar with these. Dan Aykroyd has his own vodka. Didn't we have Dan Aykroyd in studio when he first...
the Crystal Skull vodka?
It was underwhelming.
I bought some of that for a friend, and it was kind of funny. So I go to the liquor store, and the guy essentially that was running the liquor store, he's like, oh, yeah, we got some of that. It's real special. And he brought me into a back room, and it was like an Indiana Jones movie where he opens a special cooler, and then all the condensation's coming out, or fog, whatever you want to call it. And then here it is, this beautiful crystal skull full of his alcohol.
You just wanted to look at it?
No, a friend it was like his dream to try it, right?
Okay.
And so I was thanking him for something, so I bought him some of that. But it was like this real special thing, and the guy that was running the liquor store was so excited someone came in to buy it.
That's so cool.
And I want to be clear on something. The liquor, I wasn't calling the liquor underwhelming because I've never tried it. The visit from Dan Aykroyd in studio was underwhelming.
That's too bad.
The Rock has his own tequila.
Yep.
I knew this one. George Clooney has his own tequila. A friend of mine, excuse me?
Casamigos.
Fair enough. A friend of mine ordered some of that when he and I were sitting around the last summer. Ryan Reynolds has his own gin.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Aviation? Is that, or something like that?
That sounds right.
Snoop Dogg has his own gin. It's called Indoggo. Indoggo?
He even has his own wine.
Is that a reference to something? What does that mean?
Well,
anyone know? Indoggo?
Outside of Snoop Dogg, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
I get the dog part, but Slayer has a beer. Rain in Blood?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
I've seen that before.
Is their brand of beer Slayer? Did I hear that they're coming back to town? Are they going to be part of the Metallica show?
No.
They're part of something. We'll figure it out.
Was it Rockfest?
I don't remember, but they're part of something.
And also, Hulk Hogan definitely has his own gummies.
That sounded familiar.
They're called the Hulkamania Beast Mode THC gummies.
Beast Mode. He can't use Beast Mode.
You can get them in Peach Dynamo or Watermelon Crush.
Enough already. Enough.
More people texted in on the Grey Duck vodka from Chad Greenway. People seem to love that. It's very popular, obviously.
Yeah, they had that whole deck out in right field at Target Field.
More people also checking in on Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo tequila, saying that's very good.
Yeah, that's been around. He was one of the first that I remember, a rock star that started, that partnered up with a booze company. Cabo Wabo's been around for 30 years or so.
Definitely.
He was the first one of the first that I remember getting dialed into such a thing.
People are saying of Ryan Reynolds' gin, it's, quote, ass.
Oh! How about this? CFH bass player Jesus has texted the program. He's a regular texter, regular listener. Chino from the Deftones has an IPA called Phantom Bride. It sounds to me, from what I am reading here in the text, that Chino teamed up with a joint called Belching Beaver Brewing. At any rate, CFH
That's
bass
a
player
queef,
Jesus.
if I'm not mistaken.
Right. He enjoys it.
John Deere Jesus said Robert Downey Jr. has a coffee. My kind of guy. Yeah, we were talking about that a couple weeks back when he was in town promoting it.
My God. Has his own brand of coffee. All right, there you go. The list is long. We're headed towards the stupid news here. All right, let's get going with this. Down there in Texas, we're going to start in Texas, where a lady got herself arrested this week. Oh, she allegedly stole a mortuary van with a dead carcass in it.
Creepy.
I don't think she meant to steal a carcass. I'm going to take a guess that she was high on meth rocks, wanted to steal a van, and did not know that somebody's dead grandmother would be rolling around the back of that van.
Well, her mugshot indicates to me she has no idea what planet she's even on.
Says here she's 36 years old, Josh. Does she look a little older than 36?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. She also looks like... She also looks like one of my late uncles wearing a wig.
Send me the picture if you wouldn't mind. I haven't.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, this is funny. We were talking about Hulk Hogan's new beer. Someone texted in and said Hulk Hogan should make a hair growth product. Yeah, guy's been bald since he was 17. Okay.
Him and Bret Michaels could team up.
I got to see this mugshot. She looks like your uncle with a wig.
Yeah, and she looks way older than 36.
Totally.
You know, whenever I see Steven Tyler, who has been bothering us for decades via his band Aerosmith, he's been on our nerves for, 40, 50 years now, Steven Tyler has. His band was good for a few years, and now they're garbage. Whenever I see Steven Tyler, he looks like somebody's aunt.
I kind of like his look. And I know I'm going to... Oh, geez, the look on your face.
Oh, no.
What?
I bet a lot of people don't say that about him, but I don't mind it.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of like it.
He is just the silliest looking person, in my opinion.
I like something about it.
Whenever I see him, I should say at least in the last 25 years or so, he looks like somebody's aunt. Okay, I got to find this mug shot.
I emailed it to you.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
One of my math teachers, she looked like Kevin Cronin.
Kevin Cronin.
Yeah.
Good looking.
Yeah. So he kind of got the same aunt look.
All right,
for me.
I'm checking out this picture of Valerie Ellis is the name of the lady in Texas who stole a mortuary van with a dead carcass in the back. Wow. Yeah, she looks like she's wearing a wig. She looks so much older than 36. She looks so upset with herself.
Yeah.
You know who? Okay, you mentioned it looks like one of your uncles with a wig. Everyone take a look at this. I think she looks like Edward Furlong with a wig.
Oh. Yeah, she's got like her definitely below her whole mouth chin area is very Edward Furlong.
From, they called that movie Terminator Part 2.
Wonderful movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's my Uncle Joe wearing a wig. May he rest in peace.
My goodness. All right.
She kind of looks like Kevin Bacon, like an older Kevin Bacon.
You know, that's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
There are some hints of bacon in there as well. I would agree with that. All right, so this gal's been charged with automobile theft and abuse of a corpse. Man, I would never want that on my record because people are going to assume the worst.
It's a tough one to explain in a job interview.
Yeah, you're not getting hired.
They're not going to believe you. They're going to assume you folded that corpse, no matter what story you spin.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd ask for any other charge.
God
we
dang.
just change the wording somehow.
Yeah, the cops got a call down there in Texas that a mortuary van was stolen. What happened was the mortuary van guy with the body in the back shows up at the mortuary, leaves the van running because all he's doing is going inside the mortuary to grab another carcass to join the other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I imagine he doesn't think anybody would steal that type of thing.
No,
Here comes
people would be a little more respectful. You're right.
Of a mortuary van.
Yeah.
Here comes Edward Furlong in a wig. Kevin Bacon or Edward Furlong. Wait a minute. Josh's uncle. Here comes the lady. She swipes the van. She only made it a couple miles down the road before they spotted her. The van was returned in fine shape. The carcass also was still looking presentable.
That's got to be a helpless feeling, wheeling out the second dead body and going, oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. I've really done it this time.
Nordy Jesus has texted in and he says, I need an old corpse and a young corpse. What movie, Austin Powers, Man of Mystery, whatever it was called, Josh. All right, we were just talking about how this lady who stole the mortuary van looked like this person, looked like that person. Josh, you or someone like you is trying their hand at bank robbery. Or some, not appearance.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
I didn't mean to mislead you here. Now we're moving on from appearance and more personality-based likenesses here. Josh or someone like Josh is trying their hand at bank robbery in a place called Washington. Check this out. Here's the headline. Man enters bank wearing a mask, asks for money, apologizes, and leaves.
Yeah, I could see doing that.
Yes.
Certainly, if not apologizing at the time, kicking myself for forgetting to apologize and then writing a nice letter. Paying it back with interest. Like a higher interest than it would have been had I just taken out a home equity loan or something.
Yeah, that's the first thing that crossed my mind. If you were ever to be in such a desperate spot where you had to turn to bank robbery, that is how it would play out. You would try to conceal your identity because you're a smart guy. You don't want to go to jail. You would ask for the money, and you would quickly apologize and leave.
That guilt would get me. That would kill me.
Yes, we were, I'm sure you won't mind, Josh and I were having an off-air conversation yesterday or the day before about, doing what everybody does. Go to a massage parlor and get a happy ending. So we were talking about where we might go for our massage and happy ending. You're having some neck and back issues, and that's probably what started. And you said there's no way you could keep that secret from your wife. The guilt would tear you to pieces.
It wouldn't be worth the orgasm. No way.
You would just be torturing yourself.
Absolutely.
The guilt would torture you. I could hang on to that secret until the day that I die.
No, like you never feel bad about it?
No.
She, let's say she makes you a lasagna out of nowhere.
A lasagna?
She takes you on a surprise trip.
No, none of that. I could hang on to that till the day that I die.
Yeah, I think she'd be like, hey, how was your day? I'm like, I got a hand job at a massage parlor.
I didn't like it, I swear.
I didn't plan it at all.
Dude, you'd have every opportunity to get away with it, but that Catholic guilt would boil your insides.
I'm telling you, it's worse, pretty much worse than, you know how they say the guilt you feel is worse than any punishment we could give you? That is very true with me.
Wow.
Very true. I would much rather take the punishment. That stupid guilt, man.
That brings me back to one of my
Keeps
best.
me honest, though.
One of my best bros growing up. Unfortunately, he passed away. Jesus, 25 years ago, 24 years ago. I can't believe it. But when we were kids, my God, did we have some laughs. Joe Studley.
That's a cool name.
That's the nickname my dad hung on him.
Oh.
And I like to believe that him and my dad are hanging out at this point now that they've both checked out. Joe Studley wasn't much of a stud, really, in high school. It was later in life where the women couldn't get enough of Joe Studley, and that's when my dad started busting his balls and gave him the nickname. Joe spent a lot of time at me and my dad's house, so much so that women were calling me and my dad's house looking for Joe Studley. Not calling Joe's house. Well, they'd call there, and he wouldn't answer. They had to have him, right? They needed Joe Studley so badly, they'd be calling me and my dad's house looking for Joe. And my dad was so impressed by that, that's how he gave him the nickname. I'm fielding phone calls from women all day for you. You don't even live here, right? So, but when we were in high school, he wasn't much of a stud. He had a girlfriend. He did. But she was not interested in premarital sex. And it was torturing him. They were a happy couple, you know. He wanted some. She wasn't ready for that yet. I'm sure you've seen the story, or maybe you lived it yourself. So we went out of town for a hockey tournament, and we raised all different levels of hell, as you might imagine. We're high school kids. Joe bought beer for the first time at a drive-through liquor store. Big moment in his life, right?
Yeah.
Because he was not an old-looking teenager. He was a very young-looking teenager. So he was very excited about this. And also, he had sex with a gal that was not his girlfriend. He had to get some. He was at that point in life where he just had to get some. He didn't mean to cheat on his girlfriend, but an opportunity presented itself. He took it. And he got laid for the first time. The rest of that tournament, he was inconsolable. The guilt was killing him, like Josh was describing. He felt so bad about what he had done. He did. To the point where our final game of that tournament, an hour before game time, we're all in the locker room, fully dressed, cranking a boombox, chewing tobacco, jaw-jacking, right?
Yeah.
He's already fully suited up. Skates, helmet, face mask pulled down, mouth guard in, gloves, stick in hand, and he's just wringing the sap out of his hockey stick because he's riddled with guilt, knowing as soon as this game is over, we're going home.
Oh.
Then he's got to face his girlfriend. I mean, it was even the coach walked in and said, "What the hell's eating at you? Why are you fully dressed an hour before? What are you, nuts or something?" And he told the coach, "Oh, I cheated on my." It was killing him. He comes back to school on Monday. And his girlfriend, who hadn't seen him, walks up to him in the hallway and says, "I heard what you did this weekend." And he goes, "Oh, my God, I'm sorry. She meant nothing to me. I was drunk. I love you. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, I'm so sorry." And she says, "What are you talking about? I heard you bought beer this weekend."
Oh,
He murdered himself.
that sucks.
He fell on a blade because the guilt didn't allow him to think straight. She had no idea that he had cheated on her. She heard the story that he bought beer at a liquor store. Oh, one of the greatest moments of our high school lives. That was so beautiful.
If I was ever going to get an HJ at a massage parlor, but by the way, you know, like I don't like being touched, so I'm probably never going to go to a massage parlor. But if that happened, I would get on the phone and I would have to break up with my wife before. If I said, "Okay, I'm doing this," there's no way. That guilt I could not handle. I could say technically I was single. We just ended our relationship 30 seconds before the next 30 seconds.
When you get divorced, you have to list like a reason, irreconcilable differences or however you pronounce that.
Oh, yeah, I got an HJ at the massage parlor right next to Subway and the smoke shop.
You just write into that, whatever. They leave a blank space for you. You just write dry handy.
Yeah. You know that 24-hour massage parlor where all the blinds are closed constantly? That's the one.
So here's a guy who tried to rob a bank. Instead, he apologized and left. An employee, when he walked into the bank, an employee approached him and asked him to remove the mask. He said twice, "Give me the money." But then I guess he changed his mind. He suddenly said, this is great. This is what he said to the lady. He just got done saying, "Give me the money." Next up, all they could come up with was, "You know what? I must be in the wrong place." Turned around and left. This ain't where I was. What is this, a bank? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. He left. So the question is, was it a crime? They say here no weapon was shown, no overt threat was made. So police have categorized this as a suspicious circumstance, and they're going to see about finding this dope and ask him some questions. But he had a change of heart. Last minute. Where am I? A bank?
Oh, I'm just wearing a mask. Nothing to see here.
I was looking for a massage parlor. Nobody's quite sure what they're doing anymore. A car dealership reportedly sold a motor vehicle that was brought in for repairs.
Well, I wouldn't have to worry about that.
What do you mean?
If I brought my car in for repairs, no one's going to be buying it.
No, you shouldn't even have bought it.
Car dealership sold a vehicle that was brought in for repairs. This was in Knoxville, Tennessee, at a used car dealership. It's a long story with a lot of boring details. Some paperwork got screwed up. But that really blows. She's trying to figure, the gal who brought the car in for repairs, she's trying to figure out what the hell happened.
That would be confusing, wouldn't it? I feel for the guy that had to make the phone call. I've seen something similar. A friend of mine, he's a manager at a car dealership, and I had visited him, and he was down. I could tell something was really bugging him. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm just dragging my feet. I got to make 2 phone calls today. We had 2 cars there were newer cars, right, coming in to get some accessories and stuff put on. They were stolen from their parking lot the night before."
Oh,
and he's like, obviously we have nothing to do with it, but they're probably going to get pissed at us. Like it was somehow us, being irresponsible in some way.
The vehicle that was turned in for repairs and the dealership effed the dog and sold it was a 2005 Ford Taurus.
Oh, those are hard to find.
Not bad. Wonder if it's one of those sleepers, that's got the SHO, something like that. Isn't that don't they have a SHO Taurus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not so sure, but if Wapple says yeah, then I'm going to go along with it.
I bet it was probably the Ford Taurus I used to drive, though.
I'm sorry?
The same type of version?
Yeah. It looks like a turtle.
You look like a turtle. The dealership.
Like
oh, you do?
Yeah.
The dealership here sounds guilty. Local television reporters went to this dealership when they found out the story that a car that was in for repairs got sold. The local television reporters went in there and said, "Yeah, can we ask you about this?" And the dealership said, "We're busy." No time to talk. Well, we're awful busy around here. That sucks. I'd probably be the guy that I'd be the new car salesman who sold the car that was in there for repairs. I would be. Just because
I could actually see that. Yeah.
I would be that guy. All right, how about the old disgruntled employee routine?
These are always fun.
Oh, we got a few of those around here, don't we?
Yeah, we've had a few over the years, haven't we?
We have.
If you can remember any details, dump them on us, Josh, because I'm stuck right now. I know we've had some derelicts.
Lately, it's been like people posting on social media complaints and stuff like that.
Oh, social media.
And like not necessarily just going to your boss and expressing a concern or something like that, but just instead do it on social media,
Are you talking about
passive-aggressively.
a disgruntled current employee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were just talking about one off the air a few minutes ago.
See if you can remember any of the disgruntled ex-employee stories. I'd love to hear them. In this case, this is an angry ex-hostess of a hip restaurant type of a joint in New York City. She got canned. She came back angry, and word is she launched a deuce into the joint's koi pond.
Oh, no.
With the little orange and white fish. Is that a koi pond?
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
What did the koi do?
Look at the unique brown koi.
Oh. Now, I understand she did not launch this turd the old-fashioned way. She brought in some turds in a turd bag. And I don't know if they were dog, cat, her own. I don't know. This floater that she dumped into the koi pond, they say caused $3,000 in damage. This is an upscale restaurant chain called Tao, T-A-O, I don't know. Gal got mad when she was fired. Her name is Ariel Roman. And, boy, she's a sly one. She showed up for the turd dumping in disguise. She had a black wig and glasses. She snuck into the restaurant with the large bag of poop at around midnight a few days ago. Maybe because she was an ex-employee, she knew maybe that was the busiest time of night and people are not paying full attention. She unloads the turd bag into the fish pond. Oh, and then why did you wear a disguise if this is what you're going to do? And then she hopped up on a table and started swearing at folks.
Yeah, the disguise is kind of pointless.
What was the point? As soon as she starts doing that, the employees are going to go, "Oh, that's that crazy bitch who we fired," right? So I guess she's crazy. She couldn't contain her emotions. You know, once she got fired, before the turd dumping, once she got fired, she was harassing the joint, threatening to burn it down. She assaulted a few female workers. She stalked some of the bosses. She has now been banned from all of the restaurant's properties. And the company's now seeking, like I said, $3,000 in damages. And they've put together an injunction against this lady. She has to stay at least 50 yards away from all of their properties.
Keep your poop out of here. Though, I mean, those kois can be tens of thousands of dollars. Depending on the fish. Yeah, you can buy, when they're babies, you can get them cheap. But if you get like a juvenile or like a championship quality, you can spend like $50,000 on something
Those
like that.
ugly orange and white fish?
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think they're ugly. I said yeah too fast. But you're describing the right fish. You just used a wrong adjective. Can you imagine spending $50,000 on a fish?
Nope.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't imagine spending $50 on a fish.
True.
50 on a fish.
Yeah, it's
wow.
true. I remember back in the day, you get a neon tetra for like 35 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
Equestrian Shiza says it's no longer a koi pond, it's a coil pond. You guys know what I'm saying. You know poop humor just as well as I do, don't you?
Yeah, I like poop humor.
It's fun.
Used appropriately.
Randy really loves poop humor.
Heck yeah, he does.
Oh, wow. And back to that snafu at the car dealership where a car that was in for repairs, it was sold. Somebody went ahead and sold it. Here's a listener who says, I worked at a dealership for 5 years. You'd be surprised how many times I've seen salespeople try to sell a customer's car out of the service garage without noticing that it wasn't in our inventory.
Oh,
Why
man,
is
I'm
that so
surprised.
common?
I didn't think that. I thought this was a pretty unique situation.
Same here.
Well, this is as is with a sale here. But I wonder if that works out in someone's favor. Like Dana, you hate your car.
I do.
So can you imagine they sell it, there's nothing they can do, you get I bet they got to hook you up on something brand new. You can buy somebody else's car that's in for repair.
They have, yeah. All right, you can pick any of these other cars that are here for repair. We'll just keep kicking this can down the road.
You got Dana over there. Dana loves quirky this and quirky that. He's all about quirky. So let me ask you. You got this old car. Tell us the truth. Have you not upgraded because a new car isn't quirky? I mean, do you kind of enjoy the quirkiness of your car? It's beat up. The color is that the gimmick here?
No, I just enjoy not having a car payment.
Yeah, I was going to say it's paid off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Drive it until the wheels fall off.
Exactly. That's kind of the mode I'm in right now.
Yeah, I get that.
All right. Some of you will consider this a challenge, I bet. Where we're going next is a super hot brand of ramen noodles. You know, some of you love this. I can eat hot foods. I go to the hot wing challenge, all that. Denmark just banned what they call here TikTok's favorite brand of ramen noodles. Denmark, whoever they are claiming that these noodles are so spicy they could be deadly.
My youngest is into these. I didn't know, I've had ramen, but it was always, just the normal type ramen, or at least normal to me, right? Mm-hmm. And the stuff he has, it comes like in these bowls.
Yep.
Versus the little bricks of noodles. And it's crazy hot. I had no idea that
your son eats these?
Oh, he loves them.
This stuff
Maybe he learned about it on TikTok or something. I don't know. He got into it, and so we've been buying some of those. It's really, really hot.
It's a Korean brand of ramen noodles. The brand name is Samyang. So Denmark has gone ahead and banned 3 versions of their noodle. One is called Buldak Hot Chicken Ramen 3 times spicy.
Yeah, I think that's one of the brands we get.
Another one is 2 times spicy, and then I would imagine the last one is 1 time spicy. I don't know.
Probably.
Denmark's Ministry of Food announced they've pulled them for having too much capsaicin, is how you say it. Capsaicin. That's the stuff that gives peppers their heat. So, the Danes, is that what you call folks from
Yes.
Denmark?
Mm-hmm.
The Danes
That's correct.
Claim the amount of capsaicin in a single pack is so high, there's a risk you could develop acute poisoning.
I get kind of embarrassed, but sometimes if something's too spicy, I either get hiccups or I feel like I'm going to barf.
Hiccups?
Almost instantaneously.
That's adorable that you get hiccups.
I get embarrassed. Go ahead.
Does this news concern you at all if you say that your son, more importantly, my godson, windmills this stuff into his yap?
He can handle all that. My wife, I've mentioned this before, I think she has asbestos in her mouth because she can handle any heat. She can hold anything super hot. She has fans at certain restaurants that are surprised with the level of heat. Like there's a Thai restaurant that we go to a lot. Like the cooks know exactly who it is because of how hot she orders some of this stuff. But yeah, I don't have that. I like spicy food, but I don't have that. He's got that ability. Same thing. He can. Since he was very little, he could handle super hot stuff.
Does your wife have any type of reaction to it at all, or does she just look completely normal when she's putting these really hot things?
Her
in her
mouth
body?
can take a beating. It's
it really can. You really can. And it has over the years. Far too many as far as I'm concerned. Now she looks fine. The only time it kind of messed with her, she did that hot chip challenge. They did that at her work. And she's the only one that got through a whole chip. But her tummy was messed up.
Do you ever hear her praying on the way to the bathroom?
No, it doesn't really do that to her. The hot chip, I think, messed with her. But outside of that, she can handle pretty much anything.
So for those of you who like to eat this nonsense, you can still get this stuff at grocery stores here in the United States or on Amazon. But folks in Denmark said, we don't want any part of it.
Saw a funny picture on social media recently. Remember those old CD racks, the CD towers?
Yes.
This person posted, my aunt loves ramen so much she has an old CD tower with the ramen, bricks stacked up on it in her kitchen. Just on the counter, like where you'd have a toaster or a coffee maker.
That's pretty funny.
I need to have some ramen. I haven't had that since I was 12 years old.
I also really do enjoy ramen. I can't think of the brand that you see in every grocery store around here. It's very cheap.
Yeah.
Chicken flavor, beef flavor. You guys know what I'm talking about. I love it, and I buy it. Does anyone else have this problem? There's something about ramen noodles where 45 seconds after I stash it away in a cupboard, I forget all about it.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
usually...
And then, months will go by and I'll go, oh, for Christ's sake, I got this ramen. You know what I'm talking about?
That's one of those foods that I eat too fast and it burns the hell out of my mouth. I don't wait for it to cool down properly.
Oh.
I always buy ramen, and then the only time I eat it is when I'm sick. That's like my sick food.
Oh.
So anyway, this brand of ramen from Korea called, where is it again? Samyang. This became wildly popular, oh my God, 12 some odd years ago because of something called the Fire Noodles Challenge. How many of you took the Fire Noodles?
Never.
Nope.
And they also gained some steam this past March after Car Dib tried some of their noodles on TikTok, and then all the 8th graders saw, oh my God, Car Dib is eating this or that. You see how that works?
Yeah.
Cardi B.
Oh God, look at the
heathen.
time. I had no idea what time it was. God dang it. Should I blow through this final?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah,
Who
go
cares?
for it.
Oh my God, Minnesota made the stupid news.
Yes.
I like that. I like Minnesota.
Do you like that?
Yep.
This
I
is
live
almost
here.
as exciting as when Charles Barkley mentioned that he was coming here on Inside the NBA. Do you guys remember that?
I do.
Yes,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
so cool.
Charles
Restaurant
Barkley
recommendations.
and then the restaurant recommend.
Bring your ass.
A TSA agent here in town. A TSA agent stopped a Massachusetts man who was trying to smuggle 10 cans of Spam out of here. They pulled him aside at the airport here in town. The guy was very embarrassed. He was trying to bring 10 cans of Spam with him on the airplane ride. The dude, his name is Joel Libed. I don't get it. Libed? He went on... Libed? Sure. He went on TikTok to explain himself. He said he was born in Hawaii, where Spam is a staple. Check this part out. He was here in town as part of an Irish dance troupe that was on tour.
Seems like he's got a cool life already. Lives in Hawaii and is in an Irish dance group.
I'll tell you what. I feel like I could go all over town and never run into anyone who's directly involved in an Irish dance troupe. But anyway.
I feel like that's very niche in Hawaii, too.
He's from Hawaii. Now he's in an Irish dance troupe. He's on tour here in Minnesota. They went to Austin, where Spam is made, or the museum is located, or whatever the story is. Mm-hmm. He and all the Irish dancers visited the Spam Museum. He picked up a case of Spam. He lugged it around for 2.5 weeks. His luggage was overweight. He had to take the Spam with him as a carry-on.
Oh, okay.
But as the way they operate with the TSA, they had to check it all out before letting them on the airplane.
We used to, my dad he loved Spam. Absolutely. That and White Castle were like the two things he absolutely loved. But Spam we'd have on special occasions. That was kind of like his thing. We'd have some sort of special Spam food around a special occasion.
I also really loved it as a kid. It's been many, many years, so.
I used to find it absolutely repulsive until, Nick, you put me on to the Spam booth at the Minnesota State Fair. That changed my life forever. I love Spam now.
I never miss it. It's usually my first damn stop nowadays. It used to be Pronto Pups. No offense to the Pronto Pup people. I've loved you my entire life, and I still visit you every year at the fair, absolutely. But now my first stop has become the Spam barn. I get a massive kick out of it. So anyway, there you go. Guy got in trouble for smuggling Spam. They say he's maybe going to do 2 or 3 years. We got to check on the sports when we get back.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hi, Mr. Hendon. How are you? Have you seen any of the videos that people captured? I have not, no. Quite a few. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Everybody thinks you landed that backflip.
Pretty sure I did.
Was that dork kid that got tased on the ball field in Cincinnati?
Yeah, that was the judge talking to him. The little exchange there.
I kind of like him now.
He was still wearing his same outfit from the prior night. If you don't know what we're talking about, an attention-starved social media dork, again, they're everywhere, ran out onto the ball field at a Cincinnati Reds game the other night. He does a backflip, and then they tased him, which was absolutely awesome. I did not know that we had reached that level now where we're tasing people who run on the ball field. I love this.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then in court, there he is standing up with a public pretender, and the judge says, what did the judge say?
He said, first he asked him if he's seen the video, and the kid claims he hasn't. Of course he has.
Yeah. That's the whole reason why he did it.
Yeah. No, what? No video? I didn't even know.
Right.
I'm gaining some attention for this. So he claims he has it, and the judge is like, a lot of people say you nailed that backflip. And he goes on to say, yeah, I think I did.
He did land on his feet.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Okay, fair enough.
I like the judge afterwards, after he's like, I did land it. The judge is like,
You know
He got a
that
kick
when the
out of
judge watched that video, he was laughing for sure.
Especially at the tasing part, like the rest of us.
He was probably so pumped that he saw the name go through his registrar for what he has to do for the day. He's like, sweet, I got the backflip kid.
Twins beat the Oakland Athletics last night 6-2 in their first of 4 there at Target Field. We got plenty to discuss from last night's ball game. Carlos Correa is just killing it. We can get into that with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. NBA Finals Game 4 tonight in Dallas, Texas. I think she's over tonight. The Mavericks will let it go. I think what you'll see is maybe Boston with a 10, 12-point lead going into the fourth, and the Mavericks will let it go. They'll try like hell for 3 quarters, but come on. Once they're down 10, 12 in the fourth, they're going to say, you know what, piss on it.
Yep.
And the Celtics will be partying tonight. That's my prediction. It looks like the Stanley Cup final is going to be over before you know it, too. We'll get into that when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder dive into the mix. For now, stick around. Cubbies News is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
The quality of your life is really comprised of the quality of the questions you ask yourself, because the quality of the questions creates the quality of your thoughts. And so if you can begin to ask better questions in life, you could have a better life. The reason you're not growing if you're not is because you're not looking to ask a better question. And when you begin to ask the right questions, I believe you begin to get the right answers.
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
John Olababokin was charged with 12 counts of assault with a weapon. There was 15 former students there. There was 2 parents of former students.
More former students at a private Christian school in Canada testified about corporal punishment they received at the hands of the school's director on Tuesday. What? On the second day of his trial, a former student testified she was spanked with a paddle for, quote, going goth. Another student said she was left with bruises for weeks for being too expressive on the volleyball court. Former students went to police in 2021 and 2022 alleging they were subject to physical abuse for stupid reasons while attending Christian Center Academy, now known as Legacy Christian Academy. The director is one of several people facing criminal charges. He tried to beat the goth out of her.
This is when they were little
No,
kids
these are high
or-
school students.
High school kids? That's very strange. You would think most high school kids would just beat the guy's ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He would not have liked me in middle school.
Were you goth?
Oh, yeah. Tried to be as hard as I could. My mom would never let me dye my hair.
Oh, you were a poser goth?
I tried. I tried so hard.
2 Florida teenagers, apparently with a death wish, are facing multiple charges after they were caught kicking in doors to several homes for a social media challenge.
Just stupid kids who think they're invincible.
Over the last 2 weeks, deputies responded to 4 reports where unknown individuals walked up to front doors of homes early in the morning and kicked in the doors.
And then they just run like hell?
Yep. That's exactly right. After receiving tips on Facebook, the sheriff's office identified the suspects.
Honestly, I was shaken. That's going to make anybody shake that morning. Cops were here within a couple minutes. Then they started checking the neighborhood. About 20 minutes or so, they sent another cop telling me they caught the dumb kids.
The boys, who both live within walking distance of the homes, admitted to kicking the front doors of all 4 houses after seeing a trend on social media called the Door Kick Challenge.
Creative name.
That is so dumb.
I mean, keep it up if you want to get shot.
That's what I'm saying. They got a death wish.
Yeah.
This is Florida. Everybody's armed.
Yep.
And, I mean, shoot. And they've got, like, their laws are a little more, maybe lax is the wrong word, but, you know, you can defend your place. And if you think someone's breaking in a couple people in the middle of the night,
yep,
I could see these kids not making it. That's pretty scary stuff. Hopefully they learn the error of their ways. A disturbed Indiana man broke into his co-worker's house in the middle of the night to perform an exorcism on her. The Avon Police Department responded to a report of burglary in progress about 1:20 a.m. Tuesday morning, with the caller telling dispatch a man had broken into the home and was screaming. When cops arrived, the victim told police her Chick-fil-A co-worker, 38-year-old Robert Nalker, was inside the home. He was covered in blood when police yelled for him to come outside. His vehicle was still running in the driveway. He told police he was bleeding because he had to bust through a window in order to perform an emergency exorcism.
Wow.
While being taken into custody, the man who drove to the house alone repeatedly said that she hasn't been stabbed and she's possessed. He also asked cops if they could go inside, find his CD, and play track number 3 to save her. He then screamed at police to not effing look at his eyes. The victim said she knew the man for more than 20 years, and they worked together at the fast food joint.
Really?
Apparently, he'd been sending bizarre text messages warning about not listening to Spotify. Inside the house, police found a shattered window by the back door with a trail of blood from the window to the kitchen. On an island, they found a blood-covered CD and its case. He also allegedly destroyed the home's entertainment and stereo systems. And on a projector screen, he appeared to have attempted to start to write something in blood, but only finished the letter R.
That's one of the creepiest stories I've ever heard.
Very creepy.
In other Chick-fil-A related news, the one-time manager of a Chick-fil-A at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport pleaded guilty yesterday to skimming more than $140,000 from the location and a sister restaurant, funds he later spent on sex-oriented websites, online sports betting, and jewelry.
That's cool.
He must have subscribed to a lot of OnlyFans content providers.
At least he used that money wisely.
Yep.
Yeah. A California man allegedly robbed a bank, fought the cops, and stashed cash and drugs in his rectum the day after he was released from prison for essentially doing the same thing, except for the rectum part. That was new. Eric Gray, the 53-year-old criminal with a cavernous crapper, was indicted Wednesday on federal charges of bank robbery for the May 8th affair, in which he's accused of busting into a BMO branch about 4:45 p.m. and announcing he had a gun and wanted cash. The teller handed over the money, which Gray stuffed into his pockets before ordering the bank manager and 2 other employees into a storage room. He eventually let the pair of workers go, but the manager he kept hostage for another hour. Eventually, he surrendered to cops. Authorities brought him to the Anaheim Police Department, where they searched him and found he'd hidden cash and narcotics in his rectal cavity.
Yeah, some folks have that skill set. I don't think I'm one of them.
Yeah,
Me either.
Yeah, I'll just get caught with whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll just put it in your pockets, for Christ's sake, you know.
A North Dakota woman pulled over by deputies in Minnesota could face up to 30 years in prison for bong water. Jessica Besky of Fargo was stopped in Polk County May 8th for speeding. They smelled marijuana coming from her car and searched the vehicle. She was found to be in possession of 3 pieces of drug paraphernalia, which tested positive for meth. They found a bong, a glass jar containing a crystal substance, and pipes. Last year, drug paraphernalia was decriminalized, even if it contains drug residue. But the charges didn't roll back an existing law which treats bong water as a controlled substance.
What?
Anyone convicted of first-degree possession crimes could be sentenced to up to 30 years in prison. You could kill somebody and do less time. 30 years in prison, a fine of no more than $1 million or both.
Oh, my gosh.
In the court documents, the woman wrote the bong water and other items found were paraphernalia. She also asked her vehicle and cash she won at the casino be returned to her because it's not subject to forfeiture. She believes those charges against her don't make sense.
That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Just for some dirty bong water?
I thought she was getting it because of the meth, not just the bong water.
It's the bong water. There's a little loophole there.
So if you're going to go, Summers, make sure you dump your bong water out onto the sidewalk before. Okay.
Which you should be doing anyway, because if you're driving around with that and that spills, you are never getting rid of that smell.
Oh.
Yep.
Yuck.
Again, you could kill someone and do less time.
Insane.
The coroner of Prowers County, southeast Colorado, is asking county leaders to raise his salary or he'll refuse to pick up bodies. In a meeting, the commissioner, Ron Cook, said he was surprised to get a call from EMS crews June 1st. Cook said they told him the county coroner, Timothy Dunnigan, was refusing to respond to the scene of a death because he already worked his 20-hour work week and his deputy wasn't available over the Memorial Day weekend. Cook said Dunnigan said if county commissioners didn't want to get the person's body, then they could just sit there until he was back on the clock. They can get it themselves. He eventually responded to the scene once commissioners agreed to meet and discuss giving him a raise.
Well, if there's one gig where you might be able to hold the boss over a barrel, it's the guy who picks up dead carcasses in town.
Yeah, well, they're talking to him. Maybe he's going to get that raise.
Nobody wants that problem.
Wells Fargo terminated over a dozen employees after allegations they were pretending to work by simulating keyboard activity. Devices and software known as mouse movers or mouse jigglers gained popularity during the pandemic as companies were forced to allow employees to work from home. Some exchanged tips on social media sites where they buy the gadgets and told people how to use them. The fired staffers worked in the bank's wealth and investment management unit.
So how do they fake this?
So they just get, like devices or software where it looks like you're typing or your computer's active in case your company tracks it, but you're just lounging in the backyard or whatever it is.
Oh, it's not something you could fool anyone with in person.
No, it's when you're working from home. They're like, well, look at that. He's very active on his computer.
And they're in deep trouble for this.
Oh, they're fired. Yeah.
Fired.
Oh, they are fired.
I was on the phone with a buddy the other day. He goes, hold on, I got to go upstairs and move my mouse quick. Just, move it so it shows that he's been made activity.
He's doing that?
Yeah.
I've had buddies.
I think he's physically doing it. He doesn't have any programs or software that does it. He just makes sure that every couple minutes he moves the mouse or hits the keyboard a little bit so it shows that he's active on his computer.
Did you folks know that there was a way for companies to track that in the first place?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was big in when COVID first came out and working at home.
The closest I can think of is I have a friend who he's got, I don't know how he does it, but he has meeting after meeting after meeting. And a lot of them are over the phone. This was actually the last time I saw him do this was, pre when Zoom was huge, so pre-pandemic. But so like he'd want to go to lunch or something and he'd just leave his phone sitting there like on speaker. And then every once in a while go, hey, hang on. Yeah, sounds good. And then go back to us having lunch or whatever. So pretending he's a part of this meeting, but I don't think he paid attention to much of anything that was going on. I don't blame him. I don't know how he gets anything done. It's all meeting after meeting. Police officers, firefighters, and first responders are getting into the boxing ring for a good cause tomorrow night. The inaugural Battle of the Badges will be held at Myth Live in Maplewood.
We really just thought that this was a great opportunity to get first responders. So we have firefighters, police, and emergency medical personnel that are getting together for one night, putting the gloves on and swinging the fists for the community and really for an opportunity for us to get together.
Club owners said that the doors will open at 6 p.m. and the fists will fly at 7.
Competitors have been coming from 15 different departments, have been training for 3-4 months. We put on a 10-week camp at Element. We've really been preaching the skills of boxing, the composure, we want to put a good show on. And people are losing weight too, you got guys losing 20 pounds or something, getting in the best shape they've been in.
The money raised will go to benefit the YWCA.
Well, I want to hear more, Josh, about this open challenge where you're challenging any cop or first responder to fight you at this event.
Oh, where I am?
Yeah.
First and foremost,
I want to hear more about this.
As long as they'll let me leave my shirt on, I'll step into the ring. I'm not taking my shirt off in front of a group of people.
Why can't you take your shirt off?
I'm ashamed of what...
You're in perfect shape. You're so slender. What are you afraid of?
I don't know. I don't like my body. I've never liked it. It's disgusting. I don't know why you guys like it so much and always
we love it.
The there's a funny story. Well,
so you're taking back the open challenge.
Well, as long as they let me leave my shirt on.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about the shirt.
Yeah. As long as my shirt's on, I'll get in there.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a first responder. I don't think I want... Maybe I'd like to fight a paramedic simply because after they damage me, they could jump in and fix me right away.
Yeah. That's the people that know.
Maybe a junior deputy or something, too?
Yeah.
Ooh, I could do it. I could be your guy in the corner. You could get him, Josh. Come on, get in there.
The first annual Abigail's Ride is happening tomorrow at the Anoka BPM Clubhouse. The motorcycle ride, Dana. We'll have to tell that story in a second.
Yeah, we will.
raises money for the Abigail's Precious Heart Foundation, honoring Abigail's memory, born with a heart condition. The charity donates items and gifts to families in need who have children with similar medical issues. Registration kicks off at noon. Kickstands up at 1. We've got all the details posted on our 93X Hams X and Facebook pages, as well as 93x.com. Now, Dana, when he was kind of getting the information ready to post this on our social media, had to ask the organizer, Alex, is this bicycles or motorcycles? He didn't know.
I just wanted to be 100% sure.
He didn't know what the bike rally was. I was secondhand embarrassed.
It just said bike.
Well, yeah, but the picture had a motorcycle on it.
Oh, I didn't see a picture.
Of the flyer he sent.
Oh, I didn't see the picture.
That was embarrassing, Nick.
I saw the picture of the motorcycle. I don't know where you could go wrong there.
Have you ever seen a motorcycle?
I'm just trying to be thorough. I did not see the picture.
Riding bicycles or on a motorcycle or what?
The guy had a good sense of humor about it. But.
Oh yeah, he said we're allowed. He goes, it's a motorcycle ride, but if you guys want to bring your e-bikes up, that's perfectly okay too.
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
Can you imagine? You just show up on a Schwinn.
Big banana seat on it with a basket.
Yeah, you got your helmet on and all your knee pads.
Yeah. I have a feeling that if we don't keep a close eye on you soon enough, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Now playing in theaters, Inside Out 2. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust have been running a successful operation. But when anxiety shows up, they're not sure how to feel. Also this weekend, the second season of House of the Dragon roars to life on HBO and Max, with even more royal Targaryen plots to untangle. When we last left the vast lands of Westeros, battle lines were drawn. 2 very different royal butts vied for that Iron Throne.
Royal butts?
Yeah, they wanted to place their butts in the Iron Throne.
Sure.
And one dragon chomped another neatly in twain, like a ribbon cutting at a King's Landing Krispy Kreme. Season 2 of Game of Thrones, the prequel, premieres on Sunday. Highly paid Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson, the subject of the Netflix series Receiver, which premieres next month, turns 25 on Sunday.
Have you seen the trailer to that yet, Josh?
I have.
Oh, it's just goosebumps.
I can't wait.
What is this now?
Receiver, quarterback.
Oh.
Which featured our former quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Right.
They did that one on Netflix, very successful series, and now they followed it up with Receiver, Justin Jefferson, a part of that.
Oh, you guys can have at it.
I will. Yep. And thank you. Neil Patrick Harris, 51 tomorrow. Ice Cube turns 55. Courtney Cox, 60. Then today, Academy Award-winning Minnesota screenwriter Diablo Cody, 46. Wishing Duke's Mayo Jesus a successful urgery today from Concrete Hauling Jesus. Our sympathies to the Larson family. Learned this morning they have to say a heartfelt goodbye to their 14-year-old dog. It's a tough day. Shout out to Backhand Bar Down Jesus and the boys, headed to Dakota Ridge to play in the Grand Casino Golf Tourney this weekend. Shout out to Leather Scrotum Jesus, streaming in Bosnia, Herzegovina.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, Herzegovina. I'm not sure. Happy anniversary Sunday to Sassmaster Jesus and Hauling Your Wood Jesus. Congratulations to Brandon and Misty getting married tomorrow from Santa Jesus. Happy belated birthday to Covered in Metal Jesus. Shout out to Buddy Ken for dragging Metal Jesus' ass out of the house this weekend for some camping. Longtime podcaster, first-time texter, fishing but not catching Jesus. Text in a shout out to his smoking hot girlfriend for planning a surprise camping weekend. And happy 50th to Greg of the Pittsburgh Brotherhood chapter from your smoking hot wife. And that's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
A swing and a fly ball into left field and deep. Back it goes. Deep it goes and gone. Second deck home run for Carlos Correa. And the Twins open it up and now lead 6-2. Brand new celebration. Look at the jacket. Pablo Lopez putting on the brand new celebratory vest.
Prince theme. There we go.
Prince theme, the fedora.
I hear ya. Let's bring the old-timers onto the scene. It's Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Father's Day weekend. You two fools have reproduced. I sure hope you have a good one.
Thank
Big Daddy.
I hope so, too.
Well, yep.
Has fatherhood been a joyful experience for the two of you? Has the good outweighed the bad?
Brad? I would. Do you need time to think about it, or what? I would say yes. The good has outweighed the bad for sure for me. Yeah, it's just interesting going through the various, as Randy will tell you, the various stages of it, and he's at a different stage than I am with grandkids right now, and hopefully I don't have any for a while. But it's been great.
What would you say, Randy Shaver? Fatherhood.
I would say it's the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. Absolutely.
You want to share
and
some?
And then a very close second would be my grandkids. So
Can you believe Randy Shaver's a friggin' granddad?
No.
That's awesome.
Hottest grandpa around, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
When it happened,
Hell yeah.
when it happened, when you became a grandfather for the very first time, did you have that sinking feeling? Oh God, this is it. I'm officially an old timer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I personally can't wait.
Good for you, because it is great. It is awesome. There's just nothing like it. If you're not around babies for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden babies are back in your life, it's an amazing deal.
Hmm.
But I agree with you, Nick. When it happens, you kind of go, man, I thought the clock was ticking before, but it's really ticking. You thought you knew you were on the back nine before, but you realized you're probably on 14 or 15 now. Yep. And then you start to think about what are the things that you want to do in your life to, before it's, not to be morbid, but before it's too late. What are the things that you think are very important in your life? So that's the kind of thing you start to think about, right?
The back nine, Brad Ryder says.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yes.
You're not ready for that yet, huh?
Ponds there, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the nice things about we didn't start our family till a little bit later when I was in my 30s. So, I'm probably, like I said, not going to be a grandpa for a while. So I don't have that feeling, but I'll have that same feeling, I'm sure.
You're not ready for grandfatherhood yet, Brad?
No, my kids aren't ready for parenthood, so I'm not ready for
Well, but a lot of folks have children before they're ready for parenthood, then they just pass the babies on to their parents. What's the big deal? Right?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever shared this before, but my mom and dad were parents when they were 16.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Yeah, I think my grandma was 16 when she had my dad. He was the oldest, maybe 17.
And it was a little bit more common back in that time in a small town to start your family early. I mean, they did it ultra early, but they had my 3 sisters before they were 20.
So that the kids can help on the farm, right?
Amazing. Well, yeah, but they had all girls, so I didn't really.
It doesn't sound, Brad Ryder, you tell me, it doesn't sound like your parents were looking to start a farm when they were that. I don't think they had farming in mind when they got pregnant at 16.
My dad grew up on a farm, so he had always planned to farm with his dad. And
yes, but you know what I mean. This was
I know.
Yeah. Well, tell us, there's got to be something. So they were 10th grade kids when they had their first child.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were dating, and things happen, and so then they ended up. They got married, and they just continued to pump out kids for a while. They had 3 before they were 20. And
did they finish school?
My mom did. My dad did not. And so my dad just went to work with his dad and farmed and was very successful, obviously, for 50 plus years. And then they waited 7 years and had me, and then they waited another 3 years and had my brother.
That's
I told you this before, but my grandma was 16. My grandpa was 32 or 33 and was one of the best friends of her dad. And they hooked up and had kids real quick.
Mm-hmm. And that's how my parents stayed married for 63 years before my mom passed last year. So.
Yikes. That's a good one,
So
Cubby.
I was probably, I'm going to guess I was probably 45 when I suddenly realized one day that my mom was pregnant with me before they got married.
Oh, boy.
I had not put 2 and 2 together. My dad was 29. My mom just got out of the service. My dad was 29. My mom was 20. And she got pregnant, and then 3 months later, they got married. And then I came along, 6 months later.
So, but I had never done the math. I had never even thought about it until it was one of my birthdays in the early 40s. And I sat there one day and went, wait a second, my parents' wedding anniversary is this, and I am, what? So, yeah.
Right. I love those stories of the old days. That's great stuff. So happy Father's Day to both of you. Could you real quick, could you share one story of the challenges of fatherhood where maybe one of your kids misbehaved badly and you thought, well, this one's not going to make it? You know what I'm saying? One of the challenges that you face that sticks out in your memory where you thought, Jesus Christ, why did I sign up for this kind of a thing?
Go ahead, Brad.
I'm trying to think.
I have one.
Okay, why don't you go ahead?
I have one. I think Ryan was probably, I'm going to guess he was probably 5, and Robbie was probably 2 at the time. And I don't know how he got a hold of something that was sharp, but they were taking a bath together, and he started cutting Rob with some toy or tool or something. And I can remember there was like this screaming in the bathroom, and my wife walked in there, and there's blood in the bathtub.
Oh, God.
Ryan is like doing surgery or something on Rob. I don't remember all the details. I just remember my wife grabbing Rob out of the tub, and he's bleeding and crying, and Ryan's crying, and they're both looking at me like, what is Dad going to do? One of those kind of deals.
You must have thought, my God, the older one's going to be a serial killer.
Yeah, I would think so.
I know. I was like, what in the hell is going on here?
I want to watch you bleed.
Do you think that's why your youngest son became a doctor?
No, I know why my youngest son became a doctor, and it has nothing to do with that.
Getting stabbed in the bathtub.
That's a great
I gotta
story.
save myself.
That would scare any parent because you're going to think, what deep down is what's cooking in this kid's brain right now?
Well, they were playing something, and I don't remember the whole scenario. I just remember Robbie screaming, blood in the bathtub, and Ryan like upset because he didn't mean to do that, but it turned out that way.
That's great. Brad Ryder, okay. Well, a moment from your fatherhood where you thought, okay, I might pack my bags here.
By the way, Nick, that's just one of many for me.
We got all morning, Randy. We got all morning.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I can think of, my son was he was going through a biting stage, okay? Like probably he might have been 3-4 years old, and we were at somebody's house. I don't know if I think it was a neighbor's house. And kind of similarly, we heard some screaming coming from one of the other rooms and walked in there, and our son was biting one of the other kids.
Oh, man.
And it was just one of those moments, like he said, like where you're like, what? Why did I sign up for this? Why? There's bite marks on this other kid, and now the other parents are probably like, what kind of parents are you?
Right.
And yeah,
exactly.
My son is going through a cannibalism phase.
Right.
Sorry. That's great. And speaking of all this fatherhood stuff, and Randy Shaver, feel free to interrupt with another gory story of your boys. While we're talking all this fatherhood stuff, we wanted to clear something up here. We get a text now and again the last, month or so saying, whatever happened to the dad fight segment? We still love dad fights. We still plan on doing them in the future. Unfortunately, take a wild guess, longtime listeners of the Half-Assed Morning Show, what's getting in the way? Technical problems are keeping us from putting that gimmick back in place on a regular basis. We have the desire, but too many things here are broken. Mm-hmm. Our hands are tied, but we look forward to more dad fights battles between Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. Just right now, it's not possible And we'll holler at you if we ever get a breakthrough around here.
Yeah,
We could update the listeners as a service to the listeners of the standings right now if you wanted.
Nobody cares about the standings.
A service to the listeners.
Yes, a service to Brad's ego.
You might have actually noticed the technical difficulties. There's a delay on Randy's mic, like maybe half a second, and obviously it just wouldn't be fair. Randy's hearing the questions a half a second late with how quick these guys are. So they're working on it. They're trying to figure it out.
It is.
And then Brad can't hear Randy sometimes. So it's
I can't. Yeah.
Everything around here is broken. It's just the way. That's just how it's been around here for a long damn time. So what can you effing do? All right. Well, there you go. Let's dive into what the hell's going on around here. But again, feel free to tell any more tales about your experiences as fathers. Carlos Correa is killing it lately. Byron Buxton, 2. Twins beat the Athletics 6-2 last night at Target Field. So one day after they had 24 hits against the Rockies, they banged out 13 against the Athletics. 12 singles and the Carlos Correa dong in the 7th inning. Then Joe Ryan had a nice start as well where he went 7.
Correa has raised his batting average 44 points in the last 5 games with 14 hits. It reminds me a little bit. There was a stretch when Kirby Puckett had somebody can look it up. He had 11 hits and 15 at-bats during a stretch, something like that. And I want to say, Nick, there was a doubleheader where Puckett had 8 hits or 9 hits in a doubleheader. Mm-hmm. Maybe against the Brewers.
Well, there was an infamous series I remember in '87 in Milwaukee where he went 10 for 11 or 11 for 12 with 6 home runs, and I think I remember the series you're talking about.
He went 10 for 11 against the Brewers, and 6 for 6 one time with 2 home runs.
Right.
Yep. And Correa is a little. This is similar to that a little bit. It's a little more games than maybe what Puckett did, but the idea of raising your batting average almost 50 points in 5 games is pretty similar to what Kirby did.
I distinctly remember that stretch for Turkey Bucket that you were just talking about, and the Milwaukee doubleheader, the Milwaukee series, whatever it was. I mean, John Gordon had a legendary call when Kirby hit his 6th hit.
You're right.
When he went 6 for 6, I believe his 6th hit was his 2nd home run of the day.
Yeah, I think it just barely cleared the right field fence.
Yes, and John Gordon went crazy. I don't know if anyone can find that audio, but also one more side note on that hot streak for Turkey Bucket, which Carlos Correa is reminding us of. I believe that was also when Bob Costas started talking about naming one of his children after Kirby Puckett. I believe all of those elements came together at that time. So, Byron Buxton also, 3 hits, drove in 2 runs. Byron's hitting the ball well. Royce Lewis, Austin Martin's back now. I forgot who they sent down.
They sent Kirilloff.
So Correa has 14 hits in his last 5 games. Here we go. They've got this less than average ball club in town for 3 more games. Let's see what the boys can do. Like we said yesterday, tonight, Simeon Woods Richardson is on the hill for the Twins. Now, we played the audio in our intro of Correa's home run. Last night was Prince night at Target Field. So after Carlos Correa hit himself that dong, he got into the dugout, put on a purple vest and a purple hat, with all kinds of, Twins what do you want to call it? Twins swag, on the vest and on the hat. And then he started rocking out on an inflatable purple guitar shaped like Prince's old guitar. So from what I understand, this is not just a one-night gimmick. This is their new thing. The rally sausage is dead.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, the rally sausage may have just got up and walked off on its own. There for that long.
I actually think this was a surprise last night, though. I was reading that Pablo Lopez is the one that created this, and that nobody knew what this was going to look like until he actually came to the dugout after he hit the home run.
He said he originally had it. He wanted to have it be the thing for the whole season, but he had the vest custom made. It took a couple months longer, and then he said the sausage took off. So he goes, "All right, I'll wait until the sausage gimmick has run its course, and then I'll break it out." And it just so happened to be Prince night, so it was all kind of fortuitous.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah, good for Pablo Lopez, but I don't know. I just, I'm a rally sausage guy. That's just all there is to it. I am, and I was hoping that would go on forever and ever. So look for this to be their new home run celebration. You know, every club has this now over the last few years. When you hit a home run, you got to do something in the dugout. Cute story, cute gimmick. I will miss the rally sausage.
Somebody wants to know if they cooked and ate the rally sausage.
Right.
I don't think you could cook that long enough.
I hope not. It's just nice to see them playing well right now. Joe Ryan had a nice outing last night. He went 7 innings, gave up a couple of runs, 5 strikeouts, looked really good last night. Those are the kind of things that they need to see on a consistent basis. They need this starting rotation. They need Pablo Lopez, who had a decent start last time out. They need to start solidifying who those 5 guys are, and they need to be more consistent. Their bullpen has been up and down this year. Their hitting has been hit or miss, right? I mean, there was points during the season where they couldn't buy a run, and now they're in one of those time periods where everything's falling in, and their hitting is contagious. We've heard that before. So things ebb and flow during the season for sure, but they need to find this consistency in order to get themselves back in this race. It doesn't hurt that they're playing teams like Pittsburgh and Colorado and Oakland right now. Those are good things, but it's all about consistency right now. And I think, honestly, having Royce Lewis back in the middle of that lineup makes a huge difference in getting everybody back on the same page. So.
No doubt about it. Hey, I hope someone's looking for the Kirby audio from when he went 6 for 6. If you're having trouble, a listener just sent me a video from YouTube. Top 100 Metrodome moments. Number 87 is Kirby Puckett goes 6 for 6, even though it didn't happen at the Metrodome. I think they're just saying.
Well, you discussed our technical we can't do that anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did.
I did?
We have to plan everything ahead of time to put it on a completely different computer. We can't play internet audio.
Well, then I forgot. Someone write that down for me so I don't make that mistake again. Here's what they're saying now. This is the worst ejection of the baseball season so far. Did anyone see Thursday? That was yesterday. I forgot what date it is. Yesterday, during the Washington Nationals Detroit Tigers game, a Nationals outfielder by the name of Lane Thomas was ejected in the top of the 6th inning just for looking at the home plate umpire following a called third strike.
That's strike 3, and that's a real unhappy Lane Thomas, Johnny. He got the heave-ho very quickly. Thomas is punched out. Emil Jimenez threw him out of the game. Jesse Winker is now over there as well. Davey Martinez has joined. It's close. I mean, if that's challenged in AAA, it's probably going to be a strike because it caught the vertex.
I think that may be one of those 7 magic words.
This was really strange because he really did not say a word. He didn't even make a gesture. He didn't even get demonstrative or anything. He just looked at the umpire, and he was thrown out of the ballgame. This was ridiculous.
He kind of just stuck out. He kind of just stuck out his hand like, really?
Yeah.
You called that?
I wonder if, though, there might have been something that led up to that, too. Maybe a previous at-bat or, something the day before or whoever.
Well, but should that come into play a day later or 2 days later? I don't think so.
Oh, sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, officials and umpires have long memories.
No. Of course, I'm saying, should it come into
no,
play?
It shouldn't.
No. Obviously, I know grudges are held for decades, but as you heard, the broadcasters for the Nationals were upset. According to the author of this article, I don't know. I don't like the idea of friggin' robot umpires. You know me. I don't like replay. I hate all of. Okay, but the article author says there remains a big problem with umpiring around Major League Baseball, not only in terms of calls, but things like this. I don't I don't see it that way. I don't think there's a big problem with umpiring in Major League Baseball. Every year you got a few umpires that are a little squirrely and have an expanded every year. This is nothing new, but now that there is the option of robot umpiring, everybody wants to hop.
I think social media adds to the microscope a little bit too, because everybody sees all the bad calls all the time on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever. And in the past, you never saw that as much.
Right. So that's how that played out. It looks like, it looks like the Stanley Cup final is going to be over before you know it, just like what NBA fans are looking at. The Florida Panthers are 1 win away now from hoisting that damn cup. Last night, Game 3 in Edmonton, they built a 3-0 lead, the Panthers did, heading into the third. Ultimately, they held on for a 4-3 win over the Oilers. Florida now has a 3-0 advantage, and they could close things out on Saturday. The Oilers outshot the Panthers, but they're just not finishing. The Panthers are. And that Florida goaltender, Bobrovsky, has come up with some big saves. As a lot of hockey fans know, the power play is so important, and Edmonton went 0 for 3 last night. They are 0 for 10 in the series on the power play, and that's with McDavid and Draisaitl and all these other cats who pile up hundreds of points during the season. All 4 of Florida's goals came off misplays or turnovers by the Oilers. When you step on your own penis against great teams, they make you pay for it, and that's exactly what Florida's doing. What's that, Wapple?
Getting desperate.
Who's desperate?
The Oilers. You know, they're trying too hard, making bad passes and
forcing
stuff.
Plays.
Yep.
So that sumbitch is about over. Now, the new NHL club in Utah will be called the Utah Hockey Club.
It's so dumb. It's like they didn't want to try at all.
Well, it's not over yet, Ashley.
That's
this
temporary.
isn't permanent.
It's just a placeholder.
That's all that is.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like the Washington football
It's kind
team.
of like the Washington football. Yep, exactly.
They say a long-term nickname will be coming at a later date. So for now, they're going with the Utah Hockey Club. They released their sweaters and the colors that they're going with. If you haven't seen the pictures, think Maine Black Bear colors. So a dark blue and a light blue.
It is up on 93x.com, too.
Okay. Of course, as you know, this is the team formerly known as the Arizona Coyotes. They start up in October. There's no timeline on when a permanent name or logo will be revealed. And this is apparently the 6 finalists for their nickname. And I'm using quotes here, fan voting, which I don't think is paid attention to at all.
No.
But they every team likes to throw, hey, fans, here's your chance to vote. They throw that into the garbage.
That's just to get a good mailing list set up for them.
I was just about to say that is the number one reason why they do that, because then when Dana sends in his vote, they get his email address and his cell phone number, and they can mark it to him.
Although, no, they delete mine. They're like, yeah, no, we don't want that one.
He's got radio money. Nothing there. Dry well.
They say fan voting runs through June 20th, another week. After 20 initial options, the 6 finalists is pretty miserable. It's a miserable list. But we read a lot of these earlier, a month ago or so. Terrible. Blizzard, Mammoth, Outlaws, at least it's plural, Venom, Yeti. It's just terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
they better go with Outlaws.
Just terrible. All right, so NBA Finals Game 4 tonight in Dallas, Texas. Earlier
tonight?
Earlier I said I think she's over tonight. What do you boys think?
I think it's over tonight.
Yeah, I do too.
I
think Dallas is a little nicked up, a little banged up, and they needed to win Game 3. I'm not sure they're going to be inspired enough to put up enough of an effort tonight.
Because the uphill climb is so big now for them against a quality team like Boston. I just don't see them they may do the Timberwolves deal and play their butts off so they don't get swept, but I just don't see them rallying to win this series for sure. So.
Yeah, inspired enough, what Brad Ryder said. That's kind of the route that I took earlier. I think you'll see Dallas playing their balls off for a stretch of time, but if they go into the fourth quarter down 10 or 12 points, I think you're going to see them pull the shoot. I think the Mavericks will pull the friggin' shoot and just say, what's the friggin' point, for Christ's sake? So 7 o'clock tonight on Channel 5? Yep. So the Celtics are up 3-0 in the finals. They swept the Indiana Pacers in the conference final. I was surprised to read this. No team has ever gone through the final 2 rounds without a loss. Even all those great Celtics, Lakers, Bulls, Warriors. I didn't know. Sure. No one's ever done it.
Wow.
Yeah, I said the other day, not that a 60-win team has gone under the radar, but these guys have a little bit. They're just really, really solid. They were in the finals last year. They're built to last for a while, for sure.
Here's a question from a listener named Simon discussing our technical difficulties here at this garbage radio station. After Randy retires, can he just start coming in studio? Randy, your thoughts on that?
No.
Every day.
You are such a dick.
Well, he could have said hell no.
Here you got guys like Wapple, who moved, God knows why, moved to Woodbury a number of years ago.
Oh my gosh.
What do you got? Josh lives in Egan. Why? I have no idea. But despite the both of them choosing these terrible towns to live in, they came all the way to Medina, Minnesota for your friggin' gala. But Randy won't come in studio and speak into a live microphone.
We even left a little bit early, and I think the gala got done before we got home.
I said on the way home to my wife, because I obviously live in Egan too, and we were driving home and got home about 11:15. I'm like, you know what? If I were golfing in that first shotgun in the morning, I probably would have just stayed out there.
Wapple was so dehydrated by the time he got to Medina, he puked at the bowling alley down there.
Yep. Grab some bowling shoes.
All right. Here we go. We're all NBA fans are still hurting from the passing of Jarrah West. And now, this morning, don't worry, it's not bad news. This morning, I was reading about Bob Cousy, speaking of the Boston Celtics, all-time great Bob Cousy, 95 years old.
Wow.
And he says, forget about rooting for the Mavericks, Randy Shaver, or anybody else after you hear this. Bob Cousy's 95 years old. He won 6 titles with the Celtics. And he says, before I leave this earth, I want to see them win their 18th NBA title. And they will. We all know it. The series is already over. But hearing what Bob Cousy had to say really grabbed me. He said, he talked to someone from the Boston Globe newspaper, and he said directly this: I'm 95 effing years old with 1 foot in the grave and I can barely move. I know I'm in overtime. So everything in your life becomes more meaningful, and one of the last things I want to be able to see is the Celtics hang up banner number 18. Try rooting for Dallas tonight now after hearing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
God, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm in overtime, he says. That's great.
Well, using my analogy,
I would
if you're
say
95, you're sitting in the clubhouse having a drink after your round.
I would say you're in double overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
He's in double OT. I like that he cussed. You know?
Uh-huh.
I'm 95 effing years old.
He doesn't care. What
No.
difference does it make?
I got 1 foot in the grave.
95, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, I know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a kid. I know that DWIs are a terrible thing. But my dad had an uncle who was older than the friggin' hills, and one night a cop pulled him over on his way out the VFW and gave him a DWI. And my dad's uncle said, "I don't care. I'm 90, whatever he was. I'm 91 years old. You think I care?" All right, Justin Jefferson. Josh mentioned this earlier. How many of you are going to watch the new Netflix series called Receiver?
Can't wait.
For sure.
When does it come out?
July 10th.
July 10th. That's early. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it just to kind of get a feel.
Is it just him featured, or are other ones featured?
No, I'll give you the rundown, Brad
gotta be
Ryder.
honest.
Other wide receivers from the National Football League will be featured. The list says Devontae Adams, Debo Samuel, Amon Rasta Brown. What the hell am I saying here?
Saint
Amon Ross.
Amon Rasta Brown and George Kittle.
Rasta Brown.
Rasta Brown. And old George Kittle. This is more or less, they say, a sequel to the series quarterback. And so this is footage of what the boys were up to last season.
I have an alter ego.
He calls that dance the gritty.
And when I start putting these chains on, start putting the teeth in.
I do catch passes. I do score touchdowns. I get to do everything.
I'm like running back, kick returner, receiver.
He does it all. I'm big on celebrations. If I dance, I need it to go viral. But I don't know if you guys would like it as much as I do.
I'm the most competitive person on planet Earth. I can go be a superhero on the field, and then I can come home and be a superhero for my babies. As a kid, you just dream about the Super Bowl, but what is it going to take to really win one?
I never played to be the richest. I played because I love the game.
There he is right there. So this is what the boys were up to last year, and I guess part of the storyline is Jefferson. Ooh, this ought to be really exciting. Jefferson rehabbing a hamstring injury.
It's one big Rocky montage of him training.
I've always wanted a program that focused on someone's hamstring rehab. I have. So there you go. Receiver. You guys will be all over it.
Do you think they're having it come out July 10th a little earlier so it doesn't interfere with Hard Knocks?
I'm sure there's strategy in that, yeah. And that
there's
July
really
10th.
nothing going on.
I also
July
think that
for
they're
NFL.
coming out that early to avoid the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, avoid
Yes,
the Olympics.
Yep.
Oh, I've got some Olympics information here for you. Okay. The Paris Olympics. So when does that start?
August.
Oh.
Late July, early August.
Oh, okay. The how do you say it, Josh?
Paris?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Olympics.
Rasta.
Rasta Brown.
Amon Rasta, St. Rasta Brown. The Paris Olympics could become a super spreader event for dengue. Has anyone here ever had dengue?
Dengue?
Oh.
Yeah, it's dengue fever. I had it last week, I think. I think that's
Jesus,
what I'm
you
recovering
might
from.
have, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had it.
You really, honestly. Dengue is how you say it?
Dengue, yeah.
Okay. It's a mosquito-borne disease. They had some of that dengue pass through Paris recently, and some expert folks think it's going to roll through and possibly shut the Olympics down. It says here the French government knows there's a risk of dengue. Hundreds of different popular spots in town are regularly being checked for the presence of dengue-carrying mosquitoes. It cannot be caught directly from another human, only from the bite of a dengue-carrying mosquito. And experts fear one person. All it takes is one person to catch this stuff, and then it could lead to an epidemic within a week.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't that be a hell of a story?
You don't hear about that too often, right?
No.
I would have, if they said an epidemic, you would assume something like a COVID or flu or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, it'd be something.
Jeez, this thing really gets you everywhere. The pain areas for dengue fever, your abdomen, back, the back of the eyes, bones, joints, muscles. Oof. A little bit of everything.
Sounds like old age.
In Paris,
Sounds like a Friday at the old folks' home.
anytime you stand up or sit down, oh, God,
really.
back of my eyes.
They
I
say
can use some Bengay on my dengue.
I don't know if I'd ever heard of this stuff before. But, you got people from all over the world showing up. The article says many of the countries where athletes are coming from and visitors and media and everything have already experienced a dengue problem this year. At the Rio Carnival this year, a dengue outbreak led to a public health emergency being declared. So I guess keep an eye out for that. They say if you're going to the Paris Olympics, you could be part of a huge natural experiment, whether you know it or not. All right. It appears that Gisele Bündchen, do you know what it means when I say that out loud?
Certainly.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yes,
the,
you do, Ashley.
Do I?
Brady's ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not used to the last name.
She and her Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor boyfriend have broken up. And it may be because of the Tom Brady Netflix roast.
That's weird.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound like it was on solid footing to begin with, if that's why they broke up.
He didn't like the attention. He didn't like all the attention.
Jiu-jitsu guy didn't like being a punching bag, didn't like all the attention. He doesn't want to be talked about on Netflix roast. He just wants to teach jiu-jitsu.
What did he think was going to happen when he took Tom Brady's wife? Like, let's be real here,
That is a good point.
Well, wait a minute.
It sounds like he just wanted something for a while, and now he's sick of it, and this is his way out.
Yeah.
When he took Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah, I guess
I like the way you said that. Like
She's mine now.
Right. Like he walked in the door and roundhoused Tom in the jaw and took his.
Throws Giselle over his shoulder.
He's got
She's mine
squatters'
now.
rights.
Don't get me wrong. I wish that's the way he got Giselle. He walked in Tom's house and just and sent the dude through a window. I wish that's the way it happened. He didn't like all the jokes. He didn't like all the attention. That's the story they're sticking with. But like a couple of you have already said, yeah, maybe he's just, what's as crass as this sounds. I remember an old timer said to me years ago, "Show me the hottest woman on earth, and I'll show you the guy that's tired of banging her."
Yeah, I've heard that in relation to NBA players too.
Guys like to move on. I don't know if anyone's noticed. We like to mix it up a little bit. We don't know what we've got till it's gone. We don't.
That's true.
Remember the joke that lady comic dumped during the roast? What's her name? Nicole Glass
Nikki
Blower.
Glaser.
What the hell?
Nikki Glaser.
Nikki Glaser.
Glass. Very funny.
She said, just knowing your ex-wife's new boyfriend can beat your ass while hers. She said, that's got to be terrible. Kevin Hart said, Jesus, Tom, you're one of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play the game. How did you not see this coming? She's already had 8 effing karate classes a day, and she's still a white belt. Well, so this guy, according to the story, he doesn't want to be part of this mess anymore. But you guys think maybe, they're just spinning a story here.
He might have been tired of the attention for a while. This is just it.
I didn't hear the outrage from anybody else about how he was treated during the Netflix special, so I think he's concocting this a little bit.
All right. Back to we were talking about Jefferson going to be in that new TV show. Captain Death Rock's Kirk Cousins was in the prior series called Quarterback. I don't know. I saw some people were really butthurt by this, so I couldn't possibly care less. And if you don't, I'm fine with that. But so the Atlanta Falcons were accused of, tampering?
Tampering, yeah.
Before they signed Kurt. They were punished for this. They were stripped of a 4th-round pick in next year's draft and fined a couple $100,000. So I saw some football fans on social media yesterday saying, oh, that's not enough, and oh, this and oh, that. Does anyone have any thoughts on this?
No.
Well, they talked to some executives, like some unnamed NFL executives, who had said, we would have took that. If we knew that's all that would happen to get a quarterback of that caliber.
Right.
If that was the only punishment, we would have violated those rules.
Okay. Fair enough, for cripe's sake, fair enough. One final note here, another story that I kind of saved these last two stories because I figured odds are no one's going to give two pumps, but if you do, go ahead. Conor McGregor is not going to be able to be at the next UFC pay-per-view event. He was scheduled to headline, but he's injured again. Can we be done with this guy already?
I sure hope so.
Please.
Okay.
I sure saw a lot of his butt in the Roadhouse movie. That was way too much Conor McGregor butt.
A lot of butts? That was a lot of butt. It went on for a little too long.
They did it too often.
He was naked?
Yeah.
You went out and saw Roadhouse?
No, I saw it Roadhouse. I saw it when it was on Prime. I watched it.
On television?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you told us about that.
I think I did. Yeah, it was, it was okay.
Why was he naked?
I don't know. I mean, that Ashley, just, I guess, for people that want to see him naked. But
there's really no point in him being naked. It doesn't add to
I think it adds to, hey, this guy's crazy. I think that was kind of it. Look, he's walking around, a bunch of people nude.
Okay.
But, I mean, they showed his butt a lot, right, Ash?
He's got a nice butt, though. I'll give him that.
Oh, I'll say. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Bubble butt.
Maybe he wanted that. Maybe he said, I'm only going to be in here if there's tons of McGregor butt.
It's written into his contract.
Yeah, it takes a big butt in this movie.
The original Roadhouse had some nudity. Patrick Swayze and that blonde were walking around on the, remember that part?
Yeah, well, that's such a good movie. I could watch that anytime.
All right, there you go. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, have a wonderful Father's Day weekend. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks to the both of you. We will return in a matter of moments on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
We got to talk about the crowd in France. At one point, they sent out an emergency to everyone's phones stating that the decibel level was dangerously high. You know, a few surprises, like singing Randy Orton's song. I was like, there are words to this song?
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right. Fair enough. Friday morning, it's 8:32 already. Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Keep listening. Josh over there will be coming at you a little bit later before we check out, before we head out for the weekend. Josh will be coming at you later with some of our Independence Day Booze Cruise tickets. We got them sitting right here. He'll be crossing his fingers that some of those, as he calls them, fly honeys, get their hands on those passes.
People always request that, right? Where are the fly honeys?
The more the merrier. You've always been drawn to fly honeys, and I bet you have your fingers crossed that they're the type of people who get those Independence Day Booze Cruise passes. Before we leave this morning, there's another event happening, right around the same time. Our Independence Day Booze Cruise is June 28th. 2 days before that, coming to town, the United States Air Guitar Championships are coming to town on June 26th.
I used to really like watching those videos.
I have a problem with this event, and I've made this known before. I have a problem with this event because I like to consider myself, I really do consider myself one of the greatest air guitarists in the world. The world. So I was very excited the first time, Josh, I think you found some videos of this. This has got to be over a decade ago. You found some videos, and my instant issue was no one's playing air guitar. Have you guys watched these videos?
Yeah.
I've seen some really good ones, but then I've also seen the ones you're talking about where they're just kind of more like dancing on stage than they are.
They're just like convulsing and whipping themselves around. At any rate, The U.S. Air Guitar Championships are going to be happening at, I've been to this joint, the Route 47 Pub Plus Grub in Fridley.
I love that place.
Didn't you get your ass kicked there once, Wapple?
No. Very
Twice.
close.
Twice?
Very close.
Wait, no, I forgot.
I thought you
Because it
got
was the
your ass
beatings.
kicked.
Yeah, the beatings, your memory is a little bit gone.
Yeah.
Beatings.
Yep.
So competitors, it says here, take the stage to air guitar their way through familiar songs. Here's how it works. I think you just need to hand them $15 in trade and you can perform.
Oh, that's cool.
So you might get a chance to, if you win, you go to Cleveland for the big U.S. championship round. You know, this is a preliminary round here in town.
Like regional.
Regional. In Cleveland, that's the final. If you win that, for the love of Christ, you find yourself in Finland.
Whoa.
I hope I don't have to pay for the trip.
That's where it's huge, right? The Finns, they really go for it there. That's where you're going to see some of the best of the best.
They love metal,
Yeah,
right?
they do.
In
Big
Finland
time.
and Sweden and all those other godforsaken places. Can you imagine, you wake up one morning and you think, for Christ's sake, I got drunk. I went to Fridley. They played Back in Black. I got on stage. I did a couple of backflips, and now I'm in Finland for the World...
0 to 100 real quick.
I'm at the World Championships? How the hell did I get here? So, I know. I got to stick up my ass about this. I do. Because I guess I take air guitar as a serious craft. I do. I'd like to see some more actual air guitar performed at this show. You're judged on technical merit, stage presence. Christ, Josh, that's where you'd fall right off, right
Stage
there.
presence?
Stage presence.
Yeah, I used to be in a band and I had no stage presence whatsoever, which at the time wasn't cool. If I could have waited until the mid-'90s to be in a band, then I would have fit right in with what was popular.
True.
I was just going to say, do a 90s song acoustic style and just sit on a chair.
Stand there and look mopey.
Yeah.
Like you're mad at your parents.
I'm so pissed that I took guitar lessons.
Yeah.
Why did I take guitar? I shouldn't have took a lesson to learn my instrument.
You're correct. In the 90s, suddenly, everything became so low-key. In the 80s, everything was so over the top, and you know how that works. Trends reverse, and you're right. You're standing as if you're a statue on stage with a guitar. It found its niche in the 90s. In the 80s, not only did the lead singer have to be capable of sexy moves and the entire band.
Absolutely.
In the 80s...
You had to.
For you folks who never saw a rock concert in the 80s, at times it looked like someone spilt a basket of kittens. You know what I mean? Where everyone's moving in different directions. You know what I'm saying? Not just the singer. The bass player's over here doing karate kicks. The guitar players are grinding on each other. It was like a bucket of kittens got spilled, and you were in charge of wrangling them. That's what
fun. I was just ahead of my time. That's all it is.
Yeah. You'll need to have that stage presence if you want to win this contest. Here again, June 26th up at Fridley's Route 47 Pub Plus Grub. $5 if you want to just watch, $15 to perform, and the benefits. How does a grown person say this? The proceeds benefit a food shelf here in town. So,
I'm looking at the rules right now, so it looks like it's 2 rounds. The first one is a freestyle. You get to pick your own song. The second round is they just throw a song at you, and you got to get up there and do it.
Dumb.
See, that's where the uncontrolled dancing probably found its way into air guitar. Of course, you're going to want to be technical with the song that you know. You put a song up there I don't know. Yeah, what am I going to do? I guess now I have to dance.
Yeah.
You perform for 1 minute, and you can pick whichever minute of the song you want.
All right. Well, anyway, it should be fun. I hate to be a stickler, a prick about it, but I can't change. I'm laser focused. I want to see more air guitar in an air guitar contest. You know what record I'd like to play for them on air guitar, Josh?
What's that?
Eat 'em and Smile by David Lee Roth.
Dude,
you'd swear to
you'd
God.
be exhausted.
If you put a guitar in my hand and you turn on Eat 'em and Smile, the record from 1986 by David Lee Roth, you'd swear to God, I'm so good at air guitar, for that record, you would think that's me on the album. You would. Every little sound that Steve Vai makes, I know how to fake it.
That's cool.
Damn right it is, Ashley.
Yeah, that's a different bracket if you're going to go with someone like Steve Vai or Eddie Van Halen or something like that.
I can do it with Eat 'em and Smile.
Great record.
I want to see it sometime.
Come on over. We'll have a beer party. And
I'll steal the liquor.
I'll cut loose for you.
I have a buddy that was an air flautist.
And
he played the air flute at a talent show, and it was actually really funny.
I bet that was awesome.
What, did he grow up listening to Jethro Tull? How did he?
I don't. Just to be funny, I should bring in a picture. I got a picture of it.
What song did he air flute to?
Boy, I don't remember. I think it was something from the Muppets. I don't remember. But he would do this air flute thing, and it was so friggin' good.
How old are you when he's on stage performing?
Juniors or seniors in high school.
In high school.
Yeah.
A song by the Muppets.
I'll bring that in. It's in my yearbook, I think.
Hey, the Muppets have great music.
Yeah, he was probably the best and only air flautist I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have an answer for this here question. What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? You know my answer, pot. I'm so tired of hearing about pot. You know that. If I hear one more conversation on marijuana, I might have a nervous breakdown. This kind of weed, that kind of weed, the gummies, the THC drinks, enough already. Just light a joint already and stop talking about it. And I'm not trying to stop anyone from smoking. I just can't hear about it anymore. I understand what's happening, of course. I understand. Pot is finally having its day in the sun. It's just been too much for me. So my answer would be, what are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? Pot.
I'd have to say organic food, like organic vegetables and fruit. I really don't care.
Yeah.
I will just buy the blueberries that are $3 cheaper. I don't care what kind of chemicals you spray on them. I haven't died yet. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Are you telling me your blueberries are not farm to table, Ashley?
Nope.
I don't eat anything that hasn't gone straight from the farm to the table. I brought my table to a farm just to cut out the middleman.
You know, Ashley, I'm 100% with you. I'm tired of everyone busting my balls about what's in or on my food. Chemicals? Maybe I like chemicals.
Yes. I would have to say pickleball. I am so done with people talking about pickleball, talking about it, playing it. Pickleball. I love it.
Thankfully, I think we've reached the peak and we're on the way back down now. I haven't heard about it nearly as often. I don't see people talking about LeBron James just bought a franchise anymore.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's all I hear.
There's a pickleball club opening up on every block in America. Every day there's a new article. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Maybe I've just tuned it out at this point where I just pretend to my brain I didn't just see it because I can't handle it anymore. But, yeah,
I don't think it's on the decline either yet. But Wapple, I'm riding your jock after what you just... And I know I was part of the problem for a brief period of time. That, I fell in love with it for just a brief period of time. But I think, didn't we compare it? I think, Josh, we compared it to, was it lacrosse?
Yeah.
Everyone thought lacrosse was going to, 10 years ago, and then it just burned itself out so quickly. I loved pickleball the first time I played it. Even by the second time I played it, I already was questioning, is this really that fun? And then by the third and fourth, I was completely done. Absolutely shut up about pickleball. We get it. It's the new thing, and you can just be an average. Just stop it.
There are a couple people, right, that's their entire personality. Anytime you see them.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's ridiculous.
We know some folks that are like that, like every time you see them.
My boyfriend's been trying to get me to go play, and I absolutely refuse to. It's not happening.
Don't do it.
Oh, it's
Never.
fun.
Nope.
I like it. It's easy enough for me to get into. But lacrosse is a perfect example, because I remember we went to a Swarm game, and I thought, this was a blast. I absolutely love it. I'm good. I don't think I need to go again.
What did I say the next time I asked you to go see a lacrosse game?
I don't remember.
You said no. We did that already. I don't need to see it again.
And it was so fun. I don't know why, but it was one of those things where I thought, I think I'm pretty good after that.
I think that might be more on the uptick now, though, lacrosse, because of the NLL, the National Lacrosse League, where they have they went and gave people there, or made official teams for cities and stuff.
Roastmaster Jesus, and I saw this was on a list too, said, I'm sick of people trying to force those giant drink containers on us like we're supposed to carry 50 gallons of water on a daily basis.
Honestly.
You should see, have you seen our coworker Ryder?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
She needs
could kill someone with that.
She has to trailer that in. I can't believe how big that is.
It's got a dolly. It's basically a Culligan jug of water.
If you don't mind me, Wapple, try and hold it together here, but I am going to take, just for a brief second, I'm going to take the conversation back to pickleball. There is one rule in that game that really was the major factor in why I fell out of love with it so far. And that's the rule where you can't come within a certain distance of the net and just, spike the ball down. You can't do that in the game. It's against the rules.
That's why badminton was so cool.
That rule sucks. If you could stand at the net and just murder the damn ball into your opponent's testicles time after time, I might still be playing it. But that's against it. You can't stay. That is so dumb.
I'll try anything 4 times. Jesus said, I work for a city parks department. We all hate pickleballers. I'll tell you what, a friend of mine works at a gym, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They say the pickleballers are the worst.
All right, we got into this now. Okay. What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? And we got to take a break, but I see a lot of you texting in. Where did this one go? Here it is. This is my favorite one so far. And there's a list here from the internet. We'll get to all this. Eastbound at Sundown Jesus answered the question, what are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? He said, that's an easy one for me. Rare steak. Oh, you're so manly.
That's a good one.
Enjoy your ringworm. Stay to hockey my ass.
That's funny.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They can get pretty big. They can get 10 foot, 150 plus pounds, and they are a predator.
On 93X.
What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? That's been our subject here for the last few minutes. Let me give you some of the answers to that question from our listeners, from the brother and sisterhood. What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? Here's what I have in front of me. Coffee, White Claws, television shows, butt sex.
I don't hear a lot of people talking about how great that is.
Yeah. Celebrities. Yes, we have too much of a celebrity infatuation around here. Taylor Swift, disc golf, fantasy football, the NFL. Caitlin Clark. What is a boba drink?
Boba teas and stuff.
Those are fire.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, those are real popular now.
Nirvana.
I don't really hear a lot of that.
No.
Yeah, are people still trying with that?
I'm guessing at this point, young people are probably, the retro young people are pushing it on other. That's just my guess. TikTok. Electric vehicles. Rick and Morty.
I haven't heard about that in a long time.
Which one? Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
I got a kick out of this one. What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? Somebody texted in, church. He doesn't want to go to church anymore.
Fun Size Jesus, by the way, who dresses way too provocatively on our booze cruises.
I disagree.
Says, Bloody Marys, you go ahead and keep your spicy ketchup drink.
Thank you.
It doesn't seem like, for a while, Bloody Marys that was the thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it had to look like it came right out of an episode of the Flintstones, where it's just leaning over, there's a whole steak on there, there's all that kind of stuff.
I don't get that. I don't get that drink either.
Yeah, I was
liquid ketchup.
Never into that.
All right. Some other answers on what are you sick of people trying to convince you is great. Running. Joan Rivers, who checked out years ago, a great comic, once joked around, and this is perfect on the topic of running. She said, the first time I see a jogger smiling, I'll consider it.
That's a good point. They do look pretty miserable.
This isn't right, this text. White Lions cover of Radar Love. It is great.
It is great. Stanley Mugs. Do you know one thing or another about that?
Oh, yeah, the Stanley Cups. Yeah, the people were killing them each other over those at Starbucks.
They're very popular.
Kombucha. Kombucha? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Kombucha?
Okay.
I've had some kombucha. I don't mind it. It's pretty good.
It's absolutely awful.
Sounds awful. It's tea.
Yeah, some type of like caffeinated fruity tea.
It's like fermented or something, isn't it?
It's got stuff in it.
I haven't heard much. Yeah, that sounds awful to me. I haven't heard much about this, but apparently people are trying to convince others that this is great. Ice baths.
Oh yeah. That's like the thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially like jumping from a hot tub to an ice bath. Yeah, the ice. There's places that are just ice baths now.
I see those videos everywhere.
I better have just been in a house fire if I have been put into an ice bath. You know what I'm saying? I better have been dying of heat exhaustion if I'm in it. That sounds miserable.
Wapple didn't have a good experience with his. Remember that time you woke up in an ice bath and someone had a note that said they took your kidney in the middle of the night?
Yeah, that sucked. Couldn't find it.
We're going to go the other way now. Ice baths, we're going the other way. Hot yoga.
Hot yoga is really nice, actually.
And AI.
Oh, yeah.
Still don't really know much about that.
About AI?
Nah.
Yeah, me neither. I just act like I do to sound smart.
Yeah. Smile and nod at the conversation. People bring it up at happy hour.
Yep.
We read about it, right? Are we talking about like fake human beings? Is that what we're talking about?
No,
they can do everything.
You know what I mean? Like
a lot of stuff.
The sex dolls that can act like human beings, isn't that AI?
There can be AI as a part of it. Yeah.
Okay, I don't get it either. Here's another listener who what did we have earlier? What was the sport? Oh, pickleball. Here's another listener says, cornhole, yard games in general. Just leave me alone. I want to sit or stand around and do nothing.
Thank God. Yes, I agree.
It does suck when you go to a house party and someone's always up your ass about, want to play cornhole? You want to do this? No.
I hate that. No, I don't want to play Frisbee. I don't want to play cornhole. I don't want to do anything. I just want to drink. Leave me alone.
There's like the one guy that's taking it super seriously about keeping score. I'm like, I am just playing this game to get it over with as soon as possible.
I know something that Ashley can't turn down at a house party.
What's that?
Pocket billiards.
That's true. That's so true.
You
come up to me and ask me if I want to play pool, the answer is going to be yes every time.
She can't say no to pocket billiards. For the love of... thank you, everyone, for texting. As usual, we always appreciate it so much.
This is fun. People are aggravated about some stuff.
People got some grievances they want to air.
I dig it.
They certainly do.
I dig it.
Shout out to the 34 teams, 136 golfers driving down to Morton for the 13th annual Andy Gronowski Golf Classic. The Rod texted in and said, hit 'em well, boys.
The Rod. Nice.
Except you, Team Pelican. He hopes you do very poorly.
Oh, poor Team Pelican.
I think he wants you guys to be kicked off the course.
Who is that? Who's that over there on the 14th hole? Oh, who's that? That's the Rod.
Printing Jesus texted in a birthday shout-out to Winora of the Sisterhood, turning the big 04 on Sunday. Happy 60th birthday to Deadhead Jesus. Happy birthday to Minnie Booby Cooler Jesus on her 17th from her dad, Mr. Booby Cooler Jesus. Happy birthday to Bison Meat Jesus' dad, Kevin, our buddy, Bison Meat Jesus. Happy 37th to Pube Stash Jesus. And right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line for some fly honeys and fly bros, text MOTOR, M-O-T-O-R, MOTOR, to 651-989-9393. That's your shot to win tickets to our Booze Cruise Friday, June 28th, coming up in just a couple weeks on Stillwater Riverboats. Best of luck, and have a great weekend.
93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.